Norwayne's going on offense.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Mute us on the roadcast.
Behind him. Bennett in motion. Fake handoff. Sikora under a rush. Looking. Lobbing. Caught! Caught for two! Caught for two!
In the pistol again. 3 receivers, 2 backs. He takes it. He'll pitch it out to McKee. McKee running. McKee breaks 2 tackles. Now he's off and loose. Here he goes. McKee across the 30. Defender falls down. McKee's going to score. Touchdown, Keystone.
37-yard line. There's going to be a handoff. No, it's a play action. It's wide open over the middle. It's Wilhelm. It's at the 40, and he's breaking free all the way down the middle of the field to 10 to 5. Ryan Wilhelm goes in for the touchdown. A beautiful play call on the play action, and Buckeye strikes first. It's 6-0.
Hello and welcome to LaGrange, home of the Keystone Wildcats and the site for tonight's WEOL Gridiron Clash live on WEOL.com and also on that Chronicle Telegram YouTube channel. Again, tonight it's the Keystone Wildcats as they get set to entertain the Bobcats of Norwayne out of the Wayne County Athletic League. I am Rocco Nucci. He is Rob Polinsky behind us. Well, the one and only on-site engineer and producer Dave Rydell with Gary Pelter atop the press box here in LaGrange. And before we go any further, Rob, let me shout you out here and all the sales staff at WEOL, Chronicle Telegram, our season sponsors, all of them, of course, involved in tonight's Gridiron Clash as this season's slate of football matchups on WEOL will be brought to you by Network Land Title Agency, providing real estate title, insurance, and escrow services across Ohio. The Nick Abraham Auto Mall, that's Buick GMC and Elyria Ford, Route 57 and East Broad Street in Elyria. Lorain County Community College, real education for good jobs. Stewart's TV and Appliance, 468 Cleveland Street in Elyria. Mallard Creek Golf Club on Route 82 in Columbia Station. Mike Bass Ford, I-90 at Detroit Exit 148. A great deal and a great deal more. And, of course, our friends over at Eco Tree Services. They are your complete tree care company. This is the pregame show brought to you by Nick Abraham Auto Mall. Again, that's Elyria Ford and Buick GMC. Find them on the corner of Route 57 and East Broad Street in Elyria. And Rob, let's get all the cliches out of the way now, right? It's football season. We're happy to be back. We're thrilled to be back. And some of that's true, right? We all hate to see our summer come to a close. It's never long enough. It's always too quick. But I guess the culmination of that is these Friday night lights. I know we got it started last night with our Thursday night game in downtown Cleveland. Avon, a thriller over St. Ignatius. But I mean, we felt it on the field talking with the coaches. We feel it from the crowd. The atmosphere, it really starts to build, and you're quickly reminded why we love the Friday night lights so much.
If we don't love this, then we shouldn't be here, right? And Dave and I are the same age, and we've been around the block. Rocco, you'll get there. But I still feel your age when it comes to something like this is my point. You know, I was excited this morning. I was excited today. You're kind of double-checking things. You see, it's all that stuff. And part of the reason for my excitement today is I think we've got a great football game. I really think this is and this is what I love about non-conference, is that they should be two good football teams, two similar football teams that, if they perform, each has a chance to win tonight's game. And that's all you really want. And it's great to see Norwayne and Keystone playing after not playing for about 10 years. Mm-hmm. They've renewed this. They're going to play next year as well in week 1 at Norwayne. And small school football is a lot of fun. Norwayne, one of the premier teams in the Wayne County League, as you well know. Keystone with Brian Fox, that excitement. He comes here after being at EC with his success, a tough year at Elyria. Last couple of years as an assistant at North Royalton. I'm excited and really just excited to see how he does coming over here to Keystone.
Yeah, we talked to him a little bit about that in the offseason. That's a great point. He was under Nick Ciuli, the all-time wins leader for the Bears there in North Royalton. He's now at Valley Forge. So Brian said that was a great experience for him. He learned a lot just about being a coach in general, but especially what to do in certain situations when being a head coach. We know that stint at EC was tremendously successful. Tough year at Elyria.
Sure.
So, again, he goes to North Royalton, back in Lorain County now at the helm of this Keystone Wildcat team. And you alluded to it, Rob. I think some of the fun of non-conference, or at least the fun it should be, is when two good teams meet up with each other. And like you said, Norwayne, they've been the top of the class, really, in that Wayne County Athletic League. And Keystone, in the short time that the Lorain County League has been around, it's basically been them or Columbia at the top of that chain each and every year. So I think it's real interesting that you have two teams at the top of their respective conferences coming together here in the non-conference slate. I think that's how it should be.
I agree with you.
Yeah, no question. So, again, this is the pregame show brought to you by Nick Abraham Auto Mall. That's Elyria Ford and Buick GMC on the corner of Route 57 and East Broad Street in Elyria. Why don't we sneak in our first time out? When we come back, we will be joined by Norwayne head coach Adam Indorf. I had a chance to catch up with him on the phone earlier this week, and I will say, because I know Jeff Holzhauer, athletic director here, he texted me earlier today, said, hey, send me that link for tonight on WEOL. We got some Norwayne folks wanting to tune in, and I'm going to tell them right now, the studio quality of my conversation with Adam Indorf, not top-notch. We kind of had to record that one literally on the cell phone, which, you know, if you're familiar with that interface, it just doesn't give you the best quality. So no disrespect intended there, but was able to catch up with Adam Indorf earlier this week. So you'll hear from him next right here as the pregame show continues, brought to you by the Nick Abraham Auto Mall. This is the WEOL Gridiron Clash tonight on WEOL.com and on that Chronicle Telegram YouTube channel. It's Keystone and Norwayne. More of the pregame after this.
At Nick Abraham Elyria Ford, we offer great service and a great selection of vehicles. And right now, get 0% financing for 36 months on all new Ford vehicles in stock. At Nick Abraham Elyria Ford, we make it that easy. Stop in or shop us at buyabraham.com.
Now's the time to start planning your 2027 golf outing at Mallard Creek Golf Club. With 36 beautifully maintained holes, 4 pavilions, stock pro shop, and an expansive driving range, Mallard Creek is the perfect venue for groups of any size. From start to finish, their friendly staff will walk you through every step. And they're a trusted home for charity fundraisers and community events. Dates can book up fast, so call David Venezuela at 440-748-8231 or visit themallardcreek.com to reserve your 2027 outing today.
On the North Ridgeville Convenient Sunoco pregame show as Keystone gets set to take on Norwayne here in week 1 on WEOL.com and on that Chronicle Telegram and YouTube channel. Joining us now, Norwayne Bobcat head football coach Adam Indorf, kind enough to share some time with us here on the pregame show. He's entering his 14th season at the helm at Norwayne. And Coach, first and foremost, thank you so much for taking the time to join us here today. And let's talk a little bit about your Norwayne program. I was doing some digging and some research ahead of this week's game, and boy, I mean, just a real successful program, always right at the top of that Wayne County Athletic League. And it's not just football. You guys got to go into a lot of other sports, but certainly football. I mean, it's been about a decade straight of you guys either winning the conference or taking second place. A lot of undefeated seasons in that conference. Just talk to me about your program and sort of what you built over there in Norway.
You know, we're truly blessed to have a lot of great people and a great community to do some work in. I enjoy working with all of our athletes, and I have a tremendous staff that does a great job with teaching and coaching and doing all those sorts of things. And I would be remiss to not thank the athletes themselves, and they've done a great job of just continue to, show up and work and just be here and get going through the grind. So, just a lot of great people surrounded in a great community with great coaches. And, we've been blessed to be on the correct side of the wins and loss columns for most of those years. And, just it's a tribute to all those guys.
Well, you mentioned the community, Coach, and I do want to obviously circle back to football, but I can recall seeing Norwayne basketball this last postseason. You guys went into Keystone, ironically enough, the basketball team did, and picked off the Wildcats in one of those opening rounds. It was one of the better high school basketball games I've gotten to call and be a part of. But the way the Norwayne community traveled and showed out, I mean, you could make an argument almost that it was a Norwayne home game. I mean, it is incredible. Every time I see Norwayne in whatever sport, it's insane how well you guys travel as a collective fan base.
Yeah, I mean, as a community, they love Norwayne, they love the sports, and they're going to go support regardless. You have those just these hard-nosed people that want to go watch us be successful or watch us, battle and go cheer us on. So, we're fortunate to be in that situation and fortunate to have such a great place that we're able to work and coach.
It certainly extends to some of the other schools that you guys see throughout the conference here. Dalton, Smithville certainly come to mind. Waynedale, of course, Chippewa. Just a lot of really, really tough caliber teams in the Wayne County Athletic League, no question. It's interesting to me, this non-conference matchup, Coach. You kind of have, you guys top of the crop in that Wayne County League, and then you look at the Lorain County League, and it's kind of been a two-headed horse between Keystone and Columbia since the league's inception. Almost feels like maybe there's some bragging rights between the two counties on the line in this one, but I got to imagine you guys are excited to take on an opponent that's, at the top of their respective conference as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we matched up years ago, and, we circled back around to it. Don Griswold was the head coach, now he's defensive coordinator, and, Don and I have had a long friendship, and, it was a little bit of jabbing back and forth, but, I keep telling him we want to play, and we finally came back to it. So, fortunate enough to do that. We're in the same region. So lots at stake here, and you talk about the caliber of teams that we have in the non-league, and we're not shying away from those types of teams. So no rest for the weary. When we roll into week 2 and 3, we try to win their way. So Keystone LaGrange just is the start here for us, and look forward to a great game this evening.
Talk to me about the guys a little bit, and I guess let me start with the offense if I can, Coach. My eyes go right away to your quarterback, Bradley Lands. He's a sophomore, and they have him on the roster. 6'1", $185, so certainly a nice frame on that young man. But you got a sophomore signal caller. You got a mix of younger and older guys on that offensive line as well. And your tailback, Chaz Maxwell, he's a senior, so it seems like a nice blend of senior experience and maybe leadership on the offense, but some youth and inexperience perhaps as well.
Yeah, our hope is that this team's going to be able to pull those guys along and, be the even keel as we move throughout the game and not get too high, not too low, and then provide experience so that we can keep the quarterback calm and keep him focused on the next play mentality. Up front, just brag a little bit about him is number 50, Caden Indorf. He was out all last season with a knee injury, but he's been around the game for a little while, been on the sidelines for a little while, so he knows what's going on, and and he definitely presents a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge, an intelligent 4.0 kid. So I know on that offensive line he can help those guys and coach those guys up. We're trying to do a little bit of like a family mentality as far as the older brother is going to help the younger brothers. So we're hoping those seniors bring those young guys along, and look forward to gaining some experience here week 1. And those young guys have a lot of talent and a high potential, so we're looking forward to them growing.
4.0 for Caden. He's making Coach and Dad happy with that, isn't he?
Absolutely. So he wants to be an engineer, so
wow.
He's at 4.0 and the high 20s on the ACT. So
that'll play. That'll certainly play. No question. Let me ask you about the defense real quick, right? I'll do the other side of the ball. What is that side shown throughout early August now as you get set to kick things off today?
We want to play with a physicality, and we want a little bit of reckless abandon defensively. So that's kind of our mentality. We want to race to the ball with our hair on fire. And they've done a great job through camp and bringing that intensity in practice, knowing the plays, and we're just trying to keep the offense off balance, keep them guessing. Hopefully early on, in passing downs or reverse pass, we're going to get some shots on the quarterback they can think about throwing. And this goes for both sides of the ball. We want to maintain and control the line of scrimmage from the snap, from first snap at scrimmage. So, a lot to do defensively in the backfield for us. I think our guys got a good mix there of young and old, and those guys are flying around. Carter Miller's on the edge out there. He does a tremendous job. Hopefully they go his way more than the other guy. He's a little bit more experienced than the other side, but look for good things. So just try to play physical, try to play fundamental and disciplined football, and really get after it this evening.
Good deal, Coach. Well, we can close with this as we always do in our pregame interviews. And by the way, this is Adam Indorf, head coach of the Norwayne Bobcats here on our North Ridgeville Convenience Sunoco pregame show. Coach, what are going to be a couple of Bobcat keys to victory tonight if you guys are hoping to go into LaGrange and get a big key week one road victory over Keystone?
We got to come out with intensity and energy, and then just play physical, fundamental football. And there's nothing other than that. Do your job with energy, with focus, with discipline, and that's all we're asking these young men to do.
Fair and helpful, Coach. Thank you so much for your time here in the pregame show. We greatly appreciate it, and best of luck to you and your Bobcats here tonight as you kick off the season, week one on the road here in Keystone.
Thank you.
At Nick Abraham Buick GMC, we make it that easy with more value, more choices, and less hassle. Right now, lease a 2026 GMC Sierra for just $199 a month, or buy the Buick Envista for just $23,350. Stop in or shop us at buyabraham.com.
Hi, Tim Elkhorn, radio voice of the Cavs. For several years, you've heard me talk about EcoTree Services on WEOL. Recently, I needed trees removed, so of course, I contacted EcoTree. They did an incredible job. The folks at EcoTree were timely, efficient, and the work was flawless. Take it from me, when your trees need attention or even require removal, contact EcoTree Services. Like me, you'll love their work. Find EcoTree Services online at ecotreeservices.com.
Zach Taylor of the Keystone Wildcats joins us here on the Nick Abraham Auto Mall pregame show. Big thanks to Nick Abraham, Elyria Ford, and Nick Abraham Buick GMC for sponsoring us all season long. And, of course, they'll bring you the pregame shows all season long. As I said, Keystone's Zach Taylor joins us. He's a senior. And, Zach, thank you so much for taking the time to join me here in the pregame show. Coach Fox, man, he threw you right under the bus. I texted him for a pregame interview. He said, no, Zach Taylor is your man. He's who you need to get a hold of. What are your thoughts on that? Coach Fox just throwing you under the bus to start the season.
Yeah, I'm guessing he did that because we just did our captain speeches last week, and then we had the whole team vote on 3 captains, and, well, I received the most votes, and then behind me was Luke DeVore and Brendan Hagerman, so I'm guessing he just threw the person with the most votes on and just put me on the pressure here.
Cool. Congratulations. What's that feeling like that your teammates, gave you the most votes to be a team captain this season? What are the thoughts and feelings that come with that?
Yeah, it's a great feeling. Everybody has the trust in me to be a captain this year, and I just want to keep leading the guys and bringing up the freshmen, creating teams for the future.
I think back to media days, Zach, you were one of the most, if not the most energetic guy in the building, whether it was taking some photos or joining Tim Alcorn and I for your video interview. I could just tell and feel the energy bouncing off of you. Is that something you feel you bring to that locker room, Zach? Obviously, your play speaks for itself, but it seems like you're just a good, energy and attitude guy on top of it.
Yeah, so, obviously you need energy with football. And the defensive side of the ball is all emotion, and that's where I really thrive. So I kind of just try to be the team spark plug and get everybody wild up. And, if we're lacking in something, we'll make up for it in emotion and energy.
That, I think, stems from your coaching staff, too. It's something we talked about at media day. Yeah, Coach Grizz, man, having him back on the defensive side. I didn't even realize that until you guys told me at media day that Grizz would be back. He was ready to totally step away. He ends up staying as the defensive coordinator. How awesome is that for you, having just played under him, and now he's still, kind of your head coach on the defensive side? So that's got to be pretty cool.
Yeah, I absolutely love having Grizz back. I was very nervous when we had that talk in the cafeteria last school year that he said he was leaving, and I didn't think he'd leave. I thought he'd come back part-time, but I didn't know he was going to be our defensive coordinator, which is even more exciting because I love Grizz. I take after him motion-wise and all that, and I just love having him as a coach, and he's a great leader.
Zach, and again, Zach Taylor, our guest here of the Keystone Wildcats here. They're getting set to take on Norwayne, by the way, here in week one. Should probably mention that. We'll have that one for you tonight here on WEOL. Zach, what excites you the most about the defensive side of the ball this year? What have you seen from that group that really gets you going here in the month of August?
Yeah, our D-line is looking very dangerous, and then our linebackers have really stepped out of their shells this year. In practice, we're just constantly hitting. Even when we're shells, we're going after it, thumping all practice long, and our coverage looks better, our just rolling down to coverage, with the tricky plays and whatnot. We all just look more fundamental this year and a lot more aggressive.
You talked a lot about depth at media day. Coach Fox did as well. Is that already starting to show itself with, maybe getting after it a little bit more aggressive and a little harder each day, knowing that some other guys behind you can step in, give you a breather on Friday nights, and you can still trust those guys? How big is that?
Well, yeah, it's shown every team period we do. Coach Grizz yells out a star player and goes like, Zach Taylor's cramping, Bobby Gurich is cramping. And the next guy just runs out there immediately, and it looks like he was out there in the first group. He just knows what to do. He fills the spot, and I can trust the backups this year for sure.
Zach, talk to me about the offensive side of the ball a little bit. I know you said you're a defensive guy. We've talked a lot about defense, but you'll play some tailback. They'll have you at receiver, kind of here, there, everywhere, as you told me before we started rolling here. What excites you about that side of the ball?
Yeah, whole new playbook this year. We are running just different concepts. We want to run the crap out of the ball as well. So we have a nice mesh right now. Our O-line is looking very good. They're eager to block and just so excited to throw the ball this year and just beat defenses down, create space.
In your opinion, Zach, between when we talked, what was it, July 30th for Media Day, and now as you get set for Week 1 tonight, what's maybe the biggest step forward or biggest growth area that you've seen from the rest of your guys, or maybe yourself included, in these last couple of weeks?
I feel like the timing of everything is just coming down to a T. Like, we've been practicing all June and everything. We understood the concepts, but now we really got that timing down where it's like the window's open for a short second and Colt can throw it in that window, or the run plays where the pulling guards are hitting right as the running back's hitting the hole. Everything's timing up well, looking good, and we're going to make some breakout plays tonight.
Again, Zach Taylor, our guest here, part of the Keystone Wildcat team. They're getting set to take on Norwayne tonight. This is our Nick Abraham Auto Mall pregame show. Big thanks to Nick Abraham, Buick GMC, and Elyria Ford. Zach, a couple more before I let you go. Reading one of the other media previews on you guys this year, you spoke to the media about closing close games this year and how important that would be after a couple close ones, didn't go your guys' way last season. How big is that? And do you feel like you guys, are kind of ready to take that step in terms of closing out some of these tight ones?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like I said, our out of conference is the hardest it's been in a while, but we love it.
Yeah.
We want the challenge. We want the adversity. Norwayne obviously being a very good opponent, we got to come ready and just empty the tank. It's going to be a fourth quarter game for sure. This one's like they're going to give us a run for our money, but I wouldn't count the Wildcats out, that's for sure.
Well, let's talk a little bit about this one before I do let you go, Zach. You mentioned Norwayne, the Bobcats out of that Wayne County Athletic League. Really great basketball postseason game between these two schools this past winter that I had the excitement of being on the play-by-play for. But, their record of previous years speaks for themselves. They're kind of the top of the class in that Wayne County Athletic League. What's it going to take to beat those guys here at home tonight, Zach?
Yeah, I think the game is going to be one in the trenches. It's going to be a physical warfare out there. We're just going to need our 5 guys just push their 5 guys or whatever. They run the 5 down linemen, so it's going to be a lot of just, keeping that pressure off the quarterback and, getting the passes complete and just moving the ball. It's going to be a long game for sure, all the way down to the last second of the last quarter.
Well, we certainly hope so as well for entertainment purposes here on WEOL. It's funny you mentioned the trenches. So many players and coaches talk about it. It's interesting. Football can be a simple game like that. You talked about a new playbook on offense, right? Doing some different things, some new concepts. But then when you talk about the keys to the game, it's still, like you said, it comes down to that battle in the trenches. It's always funny to me how simple football can be like that at the end of the day.
I agree.
Right on. So, Zach, thank you very much for joining us here in the Nick Abraham Auto Mall pregame show. Certainly looking forward to this one tonight. I know you guys are too. Best of luck to you and your Keystone Wildcats, not only tonight, but all season long as you get year 1 of the Brian Fox era underway over there in the Grange. Thanks again, Zach.
Well, thank you.
At Nick Abraham Elyria Ford, we offer great service and a great selection of vehicles. And right now, get 0% financing for 36 months on all new Ford vehicles in stock. At Nick Abraham Elyria Ford, we make it that easy. Stop in or shop us at buyabraham.com.
Enjoy bigger buys and bigger discounts during the Labor Day sale at Stewart's TV and Appliance. Save thousands when you bundle eligible name brand appliances. Or get loads of savings on GE Profile washers and dryers while supplies last. Plus, we offer 0% financing and free local delivery. We're rewarding you for all your hard work with great deals during the Labor Day sale at Stewart's TV and Appliance. When you shop Stewart's, it's all about you.
Industries are changing quickly, and this means new high-paying jobs are showing up every day. Employers are ready to hire now. The best part? Lorain County Community College offers free fast-track programs designed to get you working in 16 weeks or less. You will learn the skills, get hired, and finally find a job you love in healthcare, advanced manufacturing, trades, business, information technology. Don't wait. Enroll today.
Looking to buy, sell, or refinance? Make sure your investment is protected with Network Land Title Agency. As a locally owned title and escrow company, Network Land Title helps safeguard you from financial loss caused by defects in a property title, giving you peace of mind every step of the way. With services available across all 88 counties in Ohio, their experienced team is ready to help wherever you are. Visit networklandtitle.com today. Network Land Title Agency, safeguarding your investment, ensuring peace of mind.
At Nick Abraham Buick GMC, we make it that easy with more value, more choices, and less hassle. Right now, lease a 2026 GMC Sierra for just $199 a month, or buy the Buick Envista for just $23,350. Stop in or shop us at buyabraham.com.
And there is the end of the national anthem here in LaGrange. This is the pregame show brought to you by our friends at the Nick Abraham Auto Mall. Again, that is Elyria Ford and Buick GMC at the corner of Route 57 and East Broad Street. A big thanks goes out to Adam Indorf, head coach of the Norwayne Bobcats, kind enough to share some time with us here in the pregame, along with Zach Taylor. How about that, Rob? I reached out to Brian Fox for a pregame interview. He said, no, young man. Zach Taylor is the gentleman that you wish to have on the pregame show. And I was like, all right, I mean, if you want to Obi-Wan me like that and kind of, but that's fine too. So had Zach on, incredibly well-spoken young man. I thought he gave some tremendous insight to not only tonight, but this season. In year one of the Brian Fox era here at Keystone. It's exciting, kind of weird at that same time, but I'm excited to see what these new look cats can do tonight, Rob.
Zach did a great job. If he is as good a football player as he is a pregame interview, Zach's going to have a tremendous game and season.
I think so. I think you're spot on with that. So here we go. You said Norwayne had elected to receive on the toss, so they're going to start tonight's ball game with possession. Norwayne in the white tops with the red bottoms, gray helmets with red numbering and lettering. Keystone at home tonight, of course. They will be in the black uniforms with the white numbering and lettering, purple trim, white helmets with the purple stripe down the middle. Again, Adam Indorf, the head coach of the Norwayne Bobcats, kind of the class of that Wayne County Athletic League. It's been a while since they weren't at least top three in that conference. You'd have to go all the way back to 2014. That was the last time they did not finish top three in the conference. Last year, they were 8-3 overall, 7-0 in that Wayne County Athletic League. It was their second straight league title, so they are certainly looking to repeat as such. For Keystone, they went 6-4 last year, 5-2. They were tied for second in that Lorain County League, Rob. If you remember, it was kind of a crazy, multi-horse race there in the final 2 weeks of the season. But Keystone, ultimately, they missed the postseason after losing to Clearview in Week 10. So these kids, I'm sure they've had a fire in their belly all summer long as they've been looking forward to tonight. And I expect Keystone to start fast and start strong here tonight, I think.
And I do too, and it's going to be a different kind of Keystone. It looks like from what all indications that we're hearing, this is going to be a throw first, run second team where that hasn't always been the case at Keystone. So, when you've got Coach Fox, he likes to have fun. He wants his players to have fun, and to do that on offense, sometimes he does things that are a little unconventional.
Sure. That's a good way to put it. So that is our pregame show, again brought to you by the Nick Abraham Auto Mall, Buick GMC, and Elyria Ford, Route 57 and East Broad Street. We're set for our first Friday kickoff of the season. All of those on WEOL, this new 2026 campaign, will be brought to you by Eco Tree Services, your trusted tree care company. And a surprise onside here. It's touched by Norwayne. Keystone's going to have it. They think they do. What's the official indication? They do. Keystone, the surprise onside kick. Rob, how about that? A little onside kick surprise for Brian Fox to start the era here in LaGrange. Cat's going to steal possession to start this one.
Well, for Brian Fox, expect the unexpected. And right there, he goes right out and says, okay, we're going to steal the possession. And that was really well executed by Brendan Hagerman with that short squib kick to midfield. And I think it bounced off a Bobcat, and then the Wildcats recovered at midfield.
That's exactly right. Yeah, Norwayne kind of got caught in no man's land there. I missed who it bounced off of, and I missed who even pounced on it for Keystone. No pun intended. A lot of feline nicknames in tonight's contest. Wildcats taking on the Bobcats. But you're right, Rob. That's a tremendous little pooch onside kick there by Brendan Hagerman. So here we go. Keystone to start the ball game with possession now. Snap to quarterback Colt Cowling. They'll go reverse here to Wyatt McKee. He's got all kinds of room to run up the near sideline. He's across midfield, across the 30 now. He's got blocking downfield, past the 20, and he's upended just inside the 20 near the 19-yard line as quarterback Colt Cowling faked that give to Zach Taylor, pitched it to Wyatt McKee on the end around, and boy, that young man does not need much green grass in front of him to do some damage, doesn't he? What a run there by Wyatt McKee to start this one.
And again, a little razzle-dazzle as they get into the Stewart's red zone immediately, a 31-yard run, and they've got it at the 19-yard line.
Thank you, Rob. All trips to the red zone this season will be brought to you by Stewart's TV and Appliance on Cleveland Street in Elyria. We'll get you those Keystone starters as soon as we can. Kind of a fast, hectic pace to start this contest. Quarterback Colt Cowling in the shotgun here. McKee on his right. He'll fake the give there. Cowling, a little bubble screen outside, set up to his man. He spins out of one tackle. Now he's got some room to run up the near sideline near that first down marker. Some yellow laundry is tossed onto the field near the end of that run as Braden Stanley was escorted to the ground. And let's see who that penalty is on. And it will be a hold against the Wildcats. So erase the gain there. Back Keystone up. Rob, let me get you these Keystone starters here quickly. At quarterback, it will be Colt Cowling, the junior. In the backfield, Wyatt McKee and Zach Taylor, a couple of seniors. 3 wide receivers for the Cats. Braden Stanley, a senior. Bobby Gurich, a junior. Brendan Hagerman, a senior. And the tight end is Nick Linden. The offensive line looks like there's a lot of experience. Jordan Thacker and Clinton Thomas on the left side, the tackle and guard, respectively. They're both seniors. Carter Jones, junior center. On the right side of the line, Drake Bailey Obergas, a sophomore. And Luke DeVore at right tackle. He is a junior. Snap to Cowling in the shotgun. Cowling, plenty of time. Now the rush finally gets there. He's flushed out to his left. Cowling keeping those eyes downfield. He'll just tuck this one out of bounds and a late shove. Let's see, and yes, that will draw 2 yellow flags, as that was number 2 for Norwayne there, Cameron Hackworth, with the late hit out of bounds.
Just a little aggressive there by Hackworth. You know, he's going out of bounds. You'd love to get a shot on a quarterback when you can. But that was ill-advised because they had Keystone backed up. But early penalties on both teams proved costly.
Hackworth was one of my players to watch heading into this one, Rob. He's a senior. He's one of those 2 safeties that Coach Indorf had talked about. He really creeps them up towards the line of scrimmage. They're more linebackers than they are safeties a lot of the time. But Hackworth, he was their leading tackler last season. He had 106 of those, 15 tackles for loss, 3 sacks. He also recovered 4 fumbles with 137 fumble return yards. How about that, Rob? Wow. He's all over the field defensively, so he'll certainly be somebody trying to make some noise for the Bobcats. Cowling in the shotgun, 2 receivers to his right, 2 to his left. McKee on his left in the backfield. Cowling fakes the give to Wyatt. Under some pressure here, rolls to his right, breaks out of 1 tackle. He's going to tuck it now, and he is near the first down marker as he gets escorted out of bounds. And let's see, it's right at that first down marker. He might be a half-yard short, tough to tell, over there on that far sideline. Colton Cowling showing that willingness to run early in this one.
Nice job by safety Cade Leach for getting to Cowling, or else he would have had the first down for sure. But, you know, Cade Cowling shows his athleticism, and with his long strides, he can get you out of a little bit of trouble. They list him at 6'3", 185. I wonder if he might even be a little bit taller than that. But Cowling, can show he can use his legs to help him.
He looks every bit of that 6'3" on the basketball court when we see him in the winter. We were talking with athletic director and head boys basketball coach here at Keystone, Jeff Holzhauer, about that one. Boy, last time I saw Keystone and Norwayne meet up, it was a district basketball game here in LaGrange. Norwayne upending Keystone on a heartbreaker at the buzzer. It was Jackson Gosser winning it for the Bobcats that night. Wildcats hoping to avenge that on the gridiron here tonight. Cowling in the shotgun, 2 to his right, 1 to his left. Tight end on the left as well. It's a direct snap to Wyatt McKee. McKee breaks through a couple of tackles, dragging some defenders with him inside the 5, near the 2 or 3 yard line. That's a nice pickup for Wyatt McKee. And that'll set up 2nd and goal now for Keystone. Just under 10.5 left to play here in this opening quarter. 0-0 our score. Opening night here in LaGrange for the Cats.
Connor Call for the Bobcats was in on that stop.
Keystone looking to punch this in. Again, if you're just joining us, a onside kick, a surprise onside kick by the Cats to start this one. As this is another direct snap to McKee, and he's going to try to follow the blockers in there, but there's not much wiggle room there for Wyatt. As he, I don't know, Rob, maybe half a yard there as he fell forward, but certainly not enough to get in. That'll bring up 3rd and goal now, and they'll say he's at about, the 2. They'll go quickly here. Wyatt McKee gets the snap again. He's going to barrel forward. Wyatt McKee falls forward. He's in. Touchdown, Keystone. Wildcats strike first. They get the surprise onside kick to start this one, and they march it all the way down and punch it in on that 2-yard touchdown plunge from Wyatt McKee on the direct snap. It's 6-0 Keystone, 9:40 left to play here in this first quarter.
Well, the Wildcats ought to be able to run the Wildcat. They did it on 3 consecutive plays. They live up to their moniker, and they go up 6-0.
So let's see what they do here. It doesn't look like the kicking team is out there, and Keystone will go for 2. Kind of a similar look here. McKee will take the direct snap. He's going to follow a couple of blockers, and boy, it worked once. Why won't it work twice? He's in. 2 points for the Wildcats as they are good on the conversion. So Brian Fox, he doesn't want 7, he wants 8 on that opening possession, and Keystone does just that. Wildcats lead Norwayne. 9:40 left to play here in this first quarter. 8-0 our score. We'll be right back after this timeout.
Experience the convenience of buying from Mike Bass Ford, just a short drive from anywhere.
I work and fly out of Hopkins every week. It only takes me 27 minutes to get to Mike Bass Ford. I'm downtown and I'm only 25 minutes from Mike Bass Ford.
I'm in Sandusky and I'm only 30 minutes away from Mike Bass Ford.
All roads lead to Mike Bass Ford. I-90 at Detroit, exit 148.
You get a great deal and a great deal more at Mike Bass Ford. Enjoy bigger buys and bigger discounts during the Labor Day sale at Stewart's TV and Appliance. Save thousands when you bundle eligible name brand appliances. Or get loads of savings on GE Profile washers and dryers while supplies last. Plus, we offer 0% financing and free local delivery. We're rewarding you for all your hard work with great deals during the Labor Day sale at Stewart's TV and Appliance. When you shop Stewart's, it's all about you.
Wyatt McKee, the 2-yard touchdown run, plus the 2-point conversion, and Keystone leads Norwayne 8-0. That touchdown and all touchdowns this season on WEOL, brought to you by our friends at Mike Bass Ford. You get a great deal and a great deal more at Mike Bass Ford. That'll set up another Eco Tree Services kickoff. They are your trusted tree care company. Does Brian Fox roll the dice twice here to start this new season? I doubt it, but hey, it worked once.
Worked once, and they steal a possession. Now they're going to get the opening kick to start the second half. It's a great way to start the year.
Hagerman squibs this one, and that one will bounce into the return man's hands at about the 15-yard line, crossing the 25, up the near sideline now with a little bit of room, and then stepping out of bounds is number 14 in white. That's Carter Miller, the senior, 5'8", 200-pound wide receiver, taking that return for Norwayne as we get a first look at the Bobcats offense. Let me get you that Norwayne starting offense quickly here. Bradley Lands, the sophomore quarterback. He takes over for Jacob Bruner, who graduated last year. He finished with over 2,000 passing yards and 17 touchdowns in his senior season, so big shoes to fill here for Lands. Chaz Maxwell in the backfield behind him. 4 receivers today for Norwayne. It'll be Drew Wenninger, a junior, Cade Leach, a senior, Carter Miller, a senior, Braylon Arnold, a senior. Get you the rest here shortly as Lands takes the shotgun snap under some pressure quickly, and he'll fire this one out near sideline. It is caught for a modest gain. Braylon Arnold hauling that one in up near the 40-yard line of Norwayne. Offensive line for the Bobcats looks like this. Some inexperience here on the left side especially. Jacob Winkler, their left tackle, he's a sophomore, as is their left guard, Gavin Wiles. We'll see if Keystone and defensive coordinator, former head coach Don Griswold, can attack that side. At center, it's junior Brandon Rafesnyder. Evan Sabine is junior right guard, and Caden Indorf, senior right tackle. He is the coach's son, and some more on him here shortly. Maxwell on the give, and he is blown up immediately in the backfield. Fantastic pressure from the Wildcats. And big number 59, Luke DeVore, was the first man I saw emerge from that pile. Coach Fox very, very complimentary of that young man throughout the preseason.
Yeah, he's a two-way starter and a captain. Bobby Gurich was also in on that stop, and on that first play, what a weapon Braylon Arnold is. 6'4", 215. They got it to him out in the flat. And he looks like Gronk, right? He wears 87.
Yeah.
Look at the size of him as he lines up here on the near side.
Well, he figures to be their top target this season after they lost Ryder Ingold to graduation. They'll go Arnold's way again. He catches it, and he is met immediately and wrestled down. Dimitri Ruby. Well, Jeff told us we'd be calling that young man's name quite a bit here tonight, and we do so right there. Great closing speed there by Dimitri Ruby. Arnold, nowhere really to go after hauling that one in.
But you know what? When it's, they're going to say first down. They're giving them the first down. I was going to say, I thought it was going to be 4th and short, and my point was going to be when you're third down, you've got to run past the sticks. You can't assume that you're going to break a tackle. You got to run past the sticks for the first down. They just did get it. 1st and 10 here for the Bobcats after they move the chains. It'll be Maxwell on the give, looking for a seam up the middle. He broke through briefly before a host of Wildcats wrestled him down, and
So Chaz Maxwell picks up 4 there, brings up 2nd and 6 now. Mentioned Caden Indorf, the senior right tackle. He is the son of head coach Adam Indorf. He missed all of last season with a pretty bad knee injury, so thankfully he was able to come back this year in full capacity. How about this, Rob? He's got a 4.0 GPA, something the three of us, Rydell behind me, could only aspire to try to reach.
If you added our GPAs, the three of us,
get close.
It might get the...
What about Pelt? That may deduct from the total there. That's not fair.
That's a 15-yard penalty on you right there.
He's not here to defend himself
right.
either. Quick bubble screen out here to the receiver. Nice throw there by Lands, but met immediately was Drew Wenninger. And Ruby, amongst others, in there to greet him. Wyatt McKee in on that stop as well. I'll tell you what, Rob, as that brings up 3rd down rather now for Norwayne. Keystone's rallying to the football pretty quick here defensively.
You took the words out of my mouth. I'm seeing gang tackling. I'm seeing them swarming the ball. I'm seeing 3, 4, 5 black shirts there defensively, and I'm seeing energy and enthusiasm. Those are all good things if you're a Wildcat.
Well, those are characteristics of their head coach, Brian Fox, as well. We've known him well over the years, and he certainly brings a lot of energy and character to the gridiron. 4 wide receivers set here for Norway, and they'll go across the middle, and it sails over the hands of Carter Miller, who went up to get it. Dangerous ball there as Hagerman was lurking behind. Maybe could have flirted with an interception instead. That one falls incomplete, brings up 4th down now. 7 to go for Norwayne. And Coach Indorf will trot the special teams unit out there, I believe.
Carter Miller is the punter.
And he is back there, so...
5'8", 200, and a senior. Now, line of scrimmage is their own 45. They need 7 to get a first down. So you always have to be cognizant of a fake, but kind of doubt they would do that here on 4th and 7.
Wyatt McKee, the deep man for the Wildcats. Miller gets this one away. High kick, not too deep though, end over end. That'll bounce right outside the 20 and take a Norwayne bounce. Well, briefly before going out of bounds, the official marks that one out right at the Keystone 18-yard line. So that is where the Wildcats will start this next possession. Let's sneak in a quick timeout if we can. 6:18 left to go here in the first. 8-0 Keystone here in LaGrange. We're back after this.
At Nick Abraham Elyria Ford, we offer great service and a great selection of vehicles. And right now, get 0% financing for 36 months on all new Ford vehicles in stock. At Nick Abraham Elyria Ford, we make it that easy. Stop in or shop us at buyabraham.com.
Back here at Keystone, Wildcats with the football. They lead Norwayne 8-0 with 6:18 left to go here in the first. Wyatt McKee, the opening touchdown and the 2-point conversion to give this new look Brian Fox-led Keystone bunch their first lead of the new campaign. Rocco Nucci, Rob Polinsky here with you. As Keystone goes back to work, 4 wide receiver set. They'll go quickly to McKee here on the near sideline, and he'll rumble forward before getting wrestled and maybe even collared out of bounds just past the 25-yard line, nearing the 30. Was Wyatt McKee. Rob, why don't I toss it to you for one of our network lane title agency keys to the game?
All right, my keys to the game will be for the Keystone Wildcats, and I'm going to say that they need to, not beat themselves. You've got a lot of excitement and enthusiasm, a new head coach, home opener, a lot of things going for them. They go right down the field and score. Now they need to settle in and not beat themselves.
Direct snap here to the tailback, and he'll weasel his way through. He's across the 35, room to run here on the near sideline. He's got the first down and plenty more. There's that young man for Keystone. That's Caden Cologne, the sophomore, 5'6", $150. He's not the biggest guy out there by any stretch of the imagination, but he showed plenty of strength and will there. He got a pretty nice gain there, netting Keystone a first down. They're at their own 41-yard line now, just under 5.5 left to play in this opening quarter, and we get a timeout, official's timeout, as he'll point over towards the Norwayne sideline. It's the...
They're getting a change set. One thing I'm noticing here early on for Keystone, they have a plethora of skilled kids, right? There's a lot of different guys that can touch the ball and will touch the ball, and that really makes it hard to defend.
Cowling in the shotgun, takes the snap, immediately rolling out to his right. Pressure starting to come. He'll fling that one back across his body, and it's caught across midfield. Zach Taylor with it across the Norwayne 35-yard line, and he's wrestled down there. Zach Taylor, he was the star of our pregame show, and he was the star recipient of that catch right there from Colton Cowling. Nice throw and a nice catch there by Zach Taylor. Another first down for Keystone as they're now into Norwayne territory.
That's the second big play for the Wildcats. They had a 31-yard run by McKee on the first drive, and right there, a 24-yard pass, Cowling to Taylor.
We figured we might see some more explosive offense this season under new head coach Brian Fox. We're very familiar with how those EC teams like to play, a part of many, many shootouts with some of those conference games. Cowling fakes the give and flings this one, and it's bobbled in and out of the hands of Braden Stanley. Falls incomplete. So that'll bring up second down and 10 to go now here for Keystone. Under 5 to go in this first quarter.
I'd say the one difference that we saw on the first drive when they got down by the goal line, he went with the Wildcats. When he was at EC, he would go with the Juggernaut. So we'll see. Who knows if he'll bring that in here or
They didn't call that the Panther over there?
I don't know what they called it. Fox called it the Juggernaut, so we always went with that.
You got Saints' number. We can find this out.
Right.
Direct snap again goes to Cologne. Cologne looking left side, nowhere to go, and he is wrestled down in the backfield by a host of Bobcats. Braylon Arnold, Gronk as you called him, Rob, and he looks every part of it, man. I know Gronk didn't play any defense in the NFL, but boy, Arnold can certainly do some of that and more. That was an impressive shooting of the gap right there. Cologne had nowhere to go, and he lost a yard. 3rd and 11 now for Keystone at the Norwayne 36.
Well, the beauty of when you're watching Division 5, 6, 7 football, you got a lot of guys going both ways, right? And Kevin Arnold is one, or Braylon Arnold, is one of those. Defensive end and a wide receiver.
His older brother Carson graduated last season as Cowling takes the shotgun snap. Some time here, flings this one looking for Taylor. No, I'm sorry. That's 13. That's Braden Stanley on that far sideline. He's got the first down and more. Picked up about 16 yards on that out route there, and a nice throw and maybe a better catch there by Arnold. And that's Keystone a first down. That's a big pickup on 3rd and 11. That's easier said than done, Rob, to convert those.
And what you like about that is they go right back to Stanley after he drops the pass. They go right back to him, and he makes a catch.
4:15 and counting left to play here in this first quarter. Keystone leads Norwayne 8-0. Wyatt McKee with the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. And he'll get the give here, spinning through that first wave, and he gets tackled down pretty aggressively there near that 15-yard line. So a modest gain of about 2 or 3 there for Wyatt McKee.
And for the second time in 2 drives, Keystone's back to the Stewart TV and Appliance red zone as they get it inside the 20. This drive started at their own 19. They're now at the Bobcat 16.
I know we're just, over 8 minutes into this one, but very, very impressive couple of offensive series here for Keystone. Under new head coach Brian Fox, he has full control of the offense. Of course, former head coach Don Griswold, he's got the defense. McKee on the give again. McKee dragging some defenders with him near that 10-yard line. He's inside the 15. But shy of the 10. Looks like he's maybe down near the 12 or so. He picked up about 5. Sets up a 3rd and 3 now for Keystone. Under 3.5 left to play in this first quarter.
Ran into Brian Fox last Sunday. He was at our friend Toby Workman's house, which is one of my neighbors, and I just saw him standing there. So I stopped by to chit-chat a little bit. And asked Brian if he's going to call the plays. He said yes, but he said, Rob, I do have a play sheet. If I get too involved with other things, I'm going to hand the play sheet off with the plays that he wants. They're scripted, and he'll have them written out how he wants it in case he needs to get involved with other things.
Brian involved in other things? Nonsense. Colton Cowling taking the shotgun snap. He faked the give, escapes pressure to his right. Cowling keeping those eyes downfield. Now he'll tuck it and run. Cowling sliding down. He's got the first down. Nice heads-up play there by the junior quarterback, Colton Cowling. Able to pick up the first down.
Chaz Maxwell, the safety, 5'9", 190, and a senior, was the Bobcat that made the stop. But as you mentioned, not before Cowling could get a first down.
Well, I'll tell you, they've picked up a couple of big 3rd downs on this drive, and that is certainly big to getting a new offense going, getting some new guys comfortable within the system. It's stay on the field, get some more live in-action game reps. That's exactly what Keystone's doing. Knocking on the door again now. 1st and goal from the 7. Cowling takes the shotgun snap, the fake to McKee. Crosser across the middle, he's open, and it is caught for a touchdown. Keystone strikes again. Braden Stanley, the 7-yard touchdown reception. It won't get much easier than that for him. A little slant route across the middle. All Cowling had to do was find him and hit him in stride, and he does just that. Keystone, again, finding the end zone. They lead Norwayne 14-0, 2:07 left to play here in the first.
To me, that drive, much more impressive than the first one. First one, you surprised them with the onside kick. You got it at midfield. First play went 31 yards. Before Norwayne knew it, you were at the 19. This one, they go 81 yards in 8 plays for the touchdown.
Keystone, impressive early here tonight, no question. We were curious how they would look, and boy, have they answered a lot of questions. They'll go for 2 again. McKee in that direct for a direct snap look here, and he'll take it. He'll follow behind his blockers again, and boy, it worked once, it worked twice, it's going to work 3 times. McKee on the 2-point conversion, and that'll make it 16-0 Keystone. As that touchdown, of course, was brought to you by our friends at Mike Bass Ford. You get a great deal and a great deal more at Mike Bass Ford. We'll step aside. 2:07 left to play here in the first quarter in LaGrange. Keystone leads Norwayne 16-0. We're right back after this timeout.
At Nick Abraham Buick GMC, we make it that easy with more value, more choices, and less hassle. Right now, lease a 2026 GMC Sierra for just $199 a month, or buy the Buick Envista for just $23,350. Stop in or shop us at buyabraham.com.
Now's the time to start planning your 2027 golf outing at Mallard Creek Golf Club. With 36 beautifully maintained holes, 4 pavilions, stock pro shop, and an expansive driving range, Mallard Creek is the perfect venue for groups of any size. From start to finish, their friendly staff will walk you through every step, and they're a trusted home for charity fundraisers and community events. Dates can book up fast, so call David Venezuela at 440-748-8231 or visit themallardcreek.com to reserve your 2027 outing today.
Rocco Nucci, Rob Polinsky back with you here at Keystone. Wildcats lead Norwayne 16-0. Glad you guys can tune into this one on WEOL.com and on that Chronicle Telegram YouTube channel. Michael Keefe, Chad Meyer, Jared Kozar, and Zach Sprague are down in Medina taking in Highland and Walsh Jesuit. Maybe we can try to find a scoring update from that one when we can. And then our Stream 2 game tonight, audio only on WEOL.com. It's Mike Rush, Ron Yance, and Nick Hershey out in Shorban Country, Avon Lake, welcoming in Strongsville for their opener. That's been a really fun kind of annual non-conference opener between those two now for a couple of years. Strongsville got them last year by a point. We'll see what Avon Lake can do this year. Hagerman on the kickoff here, brought to you by Eco Tree Services. That one bounces off of a Bobcat. Carter Miller now fields it just outside of his 20-yard line. He's going to point for some blocking, tries to reverse fields, and he gets tracked down by Brendan Hagerman. How about that? Hagerman kicks it off, and he's going to be the first one to greet the return man there. Nice hustle by Brendan Hagerman as he cut that Carter Miller return short. Bobcats, boy, feels like they need something here on offense. I know it's early, Rob, but they're behind, and they're behind big here, 16-0.
You're right. They've got the ball on their own 30-yard line on their first drive. 4 plays. They just got 1 first down before having to punt. I agree with you. Not saying they have to have a touchdown here. It's early, but I think they need to have some success and keep the defense off the field for a while.
4 wide receiver set here for Lands. He'll turn. He'll give to Chaz Maxwell, who pummels his way forward for about a yard. Not much more there for him after that, though, as this Keystone defense continues to impress early in this one. $1:45 left to play in this opening stanza.
It was middle linebacker Kyle Hurley, 5'10", 185, and a senior. He stuck his white helmet in there and made the stop.
Called his name quite a number of times over the years here on WEOL. Very impressive athletic career for Kyle Hurley here at Keystone. Sophomore quarterback Bradley Lands in the shotgun. 3 receivers and a tight end with him. He'll fake the give to Maxwell, looking for Arnold. Instead, he'll go deeper down the field, and that one is caught near the Norwayne 45-yard line. Enough for a first down and more. That one is caught by Cade Leach, the 5'7", 175-pound senior. Nice out route there by him, and a nice catch to get Norwayne another first down.
I thought for Bradley Lands, that's the best ball he's thrown so far, and that was an intermediate pass. About 15 yards, put it right where it needed to be, and got Norwayne a first down that they desperately needed.
So we thought you might, check that one down to Arnold, as he had done quite a bit on that first drive, but saw that avenue deeper down the field and elected to take it. Lands in the shotgun again. He'll fake one give now. He'll turn and give to Miller, and that one did not fool the Keystone defense whatsoever. Jack Bolton, 6'2", 210-pound junior, in on the stop there for Keystone. That Wildcat defensive front, again, impressing early and often in this one. Those running lanes just have not been there for Maxwell so far. Or Carter Miller, for that matter. Loss of 2, they'll say. 2nd and 12 now. Less than 50 seconds to play here in this opening quarter.
Got an update from up the road. It is Elyria Catholic over Lutheran West, 14-7.
All right, so Chase Ferris and his guys off to a nice start here in the new season. Lance takes the shotgun snap. Lands under some pressure. He's going to float this one deep down the field. A dangerous ball that was well past his receiver. Hagerman was the closest one to it for Keystone. And that one intended for Leach, nowhere near the target. Will bring up 3rd and long now for Norwayne. Oh, there we go, Dave Rydell. Thank you. Walsh Jesuit leading Highland on our other YouTube game tonight, 3-0 the score. I see a Mayfield Elyria score above that. Ooh, not good for the Pioneer faithful early, down 21-0 already. Or Matt Wilson in the Pioneers, so.
It's a tough matchup for Elyria to go on the road, take on a Mayfield team that is picked in the Cleveland.com top 25. Not an easy way for the Pioneers to open up.
So 3rd and 12 here for Norwayne. Lands under some pressure, floats it across the middle. It's nearly intercepted and almost nearly caught, as that was quite the collision there between Carter Miller for Norwayne. And for Keystone, that was Brendan Hagerman. He shot in there like a missile, Rob, and broke that pass up. 4th and 12 now for the Bobcats, and they'll have to punt now for the second time tonight.
And for the second time, they get 1 first down and then have to punt. First series, they punted from their own 45. This time, they're at their own 43. And the first punt from Carter Miller was really good. He kept it away from the return man of Keystone.
So Zach Taylor, the return man now for Keystone, as Carter Miller gets set to punt this one away for Norwayne. That one, a spiraling kick inside the 10. Taylor fields it. Taylor trying to escape from a tackler, and he can't really do so. And that return, a short one for Zach Taylor, out to, his own 12-yard line, they'll say. So hey, fairly close to where they started last drive.
Yeah, good job on special teams. 6'1", 180 junior Drew Wenninger for Norwayne was able to contain Zach Taylor and just get enough of him to bring him down.
So with 12 seconds left to play here in this first quarter, should have time for one more snap as Keystone gets set to head back out there offensively. Again, a big thanks to our pregame show sponsor at the start of this broadcast. That was the Nick Abraham Auto Mall, Elyria Ford and Buick GMC at the corner of Route 57 and East Broad Street in Elyria. Again, elsewhere tonight on the Chronicle Telegram YouTube channel in Medina, it's Walsh Jesuit at Highland. Potential playoff preview there. Michael Keefe, Chad Meyer have the call for that one. And our audio-only game tonight on WEOL.com Stream 2. It's at Avon Lake as they take on Strongsville. Ron Yance, Mike Rush, and Nick Hershey on site for that one. 4 wide receivers set here for Keystone. 3 to Cowling's left, 1 to his right. And Cowling will fake the give to his tailback. Instead, he'll flip this one to his wide receiver, trying to set up the screen play, and not much doing there. A pickup of about 3 there for the Wildcat receiver. That was Devin Walker-Thigpen, the sophomore. And that short gain will bring us to the end of the first quarter. How about those Keystone Wildcats, folks? Keystone in front of Norwayne right now, 16-0. Your score after 1. Wildcats have the football. We're right back after this timeout.
Industries are changing quickly, and this means new high-paying jobs are showing up every day. Employers are ready to hire now. The best part? Lorain County Community College offers free fast-track programs designed to get you working in 16 weeks or less. You will learn the skills, get hired, and finally find a job you love in healthcare, advanced manufacturing, trades, business, information technology. Don't wait. Enroll today.
Scoreboard update here, courtesy of on-site producer and engineer extraordinaire Dave Rydell. We'll go through a couple of scores here quickly. Columbia leads Independence right now, 14-0 in the first quarter. We're tied between Midview and Westlake, 7 apiece there between the Middies and the Demons. Again, Walsh Jesuit leads Medina Highland 3-0. Scoreless elsewhere in Medina as Buckeye takes on Cloverleaf, bigger pardon, no score there again. Normandy tied with Holy Name at 0 early in that one. How about North Ridgeville heading all the way down to Uniontown to take on the Lake Blue Streaks? No score there for Brian Morgan and gang. Vermilion, an even longer road trip down to Columbus. They're taking on the Johnnies of Johnstown, Rob.
Yes, sir.
0-0 our score early in that one. Brunswick and Berea Mid-Park, they're scoreless, and Strongsville leads Avon Lake 10-0 in the first quarter. Thank you, Dave Rydell. Appreciate that, my friend.
I think Strongsville is supposed to be improved. Tough matchup for Avon Lake to open with them, and then they get Lake Catholic, and you get the SWC, so not an easy schedule for the Shoremen.
Caden Cologne takes the first snap of this second quarter off the give from Colton Cowling, and he rumbles his way past the first down markers. A pickup of about, so he's close at least. Yeah, they'll give him the first down. A pickup of 7 there for Caden Cologne, as he's had a nice couple of carries here to start this ball game. Another first down for the Wildcats. You know, Strongsville got picked off in the first round of the playoffs last season, so similar to Keystone, I think they had a little bit of a fire in their belly throughout the summer. Cowling rolling to his right here, and that one nearly intercepted in and out of the hands of the defender. He was Cowling for Mason Grams, one of our media day attendees, the senior.
Chaz Maxwell was a defender that got 2 hands on it, but couldn't come up with it.
It's one of those where I think he was surprised that one was kind of thrown at him as much as it was. It kind of got on him in a hurry, and Maxwell unable to squeeze that one. Again, Graham's the intended receiver, but ultimately incomplete. Brings up 2nd down, 10 to go now for Keystone, and they lead Norwayne 16-0. Cowling, quick throw over to McKee. They got the screen set up again. McKee squeaks out of 1 tackle. Now he's got room to run up the sideline. There goes Wyatt McKee across the 50. Foot race to the end zone. Nobody's going to catch Wyatt. Touchdown, Keystone. 77 yards, Wyatt McKee, but hold everything. Laundry on the field, a flag back near where he caught it. You see some of those offensive linemen already walking back, and that will be a hold against Keystone.
But Wyatt McKee shows you what he can do. Breaks a tackle, and then there was nobody else from Norwayne was going to catch him. If you're the Bobcats, they dodge a bullet, and they need to make a note to self. You better get more than one body on Wyatt McKee, because if he breaks loose, nobody is going to catch him from either team. He's the quickest kid out there by far.
That's been the case since he was a freshman, Rob. I mean, he's impressed every single year here at Keystone, no question about that. He's a just about 1,000-yard rusher the previous 2 seasons as a sophomore and a junior. Of course, he's hoping for similar results now as a senior leading this Wildcat team. Impressive catch and run there, but ultimately wiped away, and Norwayne looks like they'll call timeout, and yes, they will. Maybe Coach Indorf saying, hey, guys, wait a minute. We gotta get some things, locked down. First and foremost, finding a way to get multiple hats, like you said, Rob, on Wyatt McKee. We'll take an opportunity to take a timeout as well. 11:26 left to play here in the first half. Keystone leads Norwayne here in LaGrange 16-0. We're right back after this timeout.
Experience the convenience of buying from Mike Bass Ford, just a short drive from anywhere.
I work and fly out of Hopkins every week. It only takes me 27 minutes to get to Mike Bass Ford. I'm downtown, and I'm only 25 minutes from Mike Bass Ford.
I'm in Sandusky, and I'm only 30 minutes away from Mike Bass Ford.
All roads lead to Mike Bass Ford. I-90 at Detroit, exit 148.
You get a great deal and a great deal more at Mike Bass Ford.
2nd down and 16 for Keystone after that Norwayne Bobcat timeout. Wyatt McKee, the early touchdown run to get the scoring started, and then Braden Stanley from 7 yards out caught a laser off the right arm of quarterback Colt Cowling. Another McKee 2-point conversion makes this a 16-0 ball game. 2nd and 16 for Keystone. Wyatt McKee had that 77-yard touchdown catch and run wiped away from the holding. Cowling takes the shotgun snap, rolling, floating. This one is dangerous, and it's intercepted. Underthrown and into the hands of the waiting defender. That's Carter Miller for Norwayne. As Colton Cowling, he was looking for Bobby Gurich, the junior, deep down that near sideline. And we got another flag on the field. And let's see. It's a hold against Keystone. Norwayne, of course, will decline that penalty, and the Bobcats force a much-needed turnover. If you're Norwayne here in the 2nd quarter, taking the football back and in pretty darn good field position here. They'll start this one in Keystone territory, Rob, at about the 37-yard line.
Yeah, poor decision by Cowling. He'd like to have that back when they look at it on film. He just put it up there for grabs, and Miller is a good enough athlete. He camped under it, made the easy interception. And let's see if that changes the momentum here. The Bobcats, starting this drive at the Keystone 37, need to get points out of this drive.
So quarterback Bradley lands. He'll turn and give to his tailback here, and he's going to chug-a-lug his way forward and fall forward for a couple of yards, as that's a decent pickup there for Maxwell.
It's a good way to describe it. He did kind of chug-a-lug right up the middle there for a 3. Didn't look like he was going to get anything, and he just pushed that pile a little bit forward, and nothing turned into 3.
Sometimes you'll take 3 yards in a cloud of dust as opposed to nothing if you're a head coach, right?
4 times 3 equals first down.
Now, I know neither of our, math skills are maybe where they need to be. Well, you better than I on that front.
I'm just telling you, 4 times 3 is going to be more than 10. And it's going to equal a first down.
Well, that's St. Paul education carrying you quite a ways.
Oh, yeah, all the way here.
2nd and 7. Miller will take the pitch. Miller breaks one tackle, and then he gets met by a couple of Wildcats inside the 30 down near that 28-yard line. So a pickup of about 6 there for Carter Miller. He needed 7, and he is about a yard, maybe half a yard short of that first down marker. It will be 3rd and short now, 3rd and 1, they'll say, for Norwayne now. Ball spotted at the Keystone 28-yard line. 10 minutes left to play here in this first half.
Dimitri Ruby was the first Wildcat there on the stop.
Reminder, our halftime show coming up shortly. That one brought to you by Lorain County Community College. Your year, your class is your future. Enroll today at Lorain County Community College. Lance takes the snap. He'll turn. He'll give to Miller, and there's nothing doing there. A bunch of Wildcats just shooting in there. Bobby Gurich, one of the first ones to greet him, and a couple of guys in black jerseys followed suit as they wrestled down Carter Miller for a gain of nothing, really.
Yeah, lost about 3.
Yeah.
So Kyle Hurley was another one, and they're going to move it back to the 30. So instead of 3rd and 1, you got about 4th and 3, and Norwayne really needs a first down here.
Bobcats still without a score in this one, trailing Keystone 16-0. Head coach Adam Indorf and his guys, back-to-back winners of the Wayne County Athletic League, on the ropes here early in LaGrange against Keystone. Snap to Lands. He'll take it. He'll roll to his right. Under pressure. Floats a dangerous one, and it's intercepted. No, it's trapped by Hagerman on that far sideline. Oh, man. Hagerman, Rob, I don't know if he would have kept the footing anyway, but if he would have caught it and if he would have kept that footing, that was maybe the easiest pick 6 that we might see all season. And if you're sophomore quarterback Bradley Lands, you're thinking to yourself, oh, man, am I lucky that one found a way to hit the grass.
Yeah, and Keystone does get to change the possession, though, Rocco, because it was 4th and 3, incomplete pass. Wildcats, they lived to, they survived that interception. And Norwayne, goes 7 yards in 4 plays, turns it over on downs, and it will be Wildcat football.
So we'll keep it here with 8:54 left to play in this first half. Keystone looking good here early. First year under new head coach Brian Fox. Again, had stints at Elyria Catholic and then Elyria. Spent the last 2 seasons over at North Royalton under their all-time wins leader Nick Ciuli, who's now at Valley Forge. Going up against Adam Indorf and the Norwayne Bobcats. A flag.
Legal motion.
And a whistle, yeah. False starter, a legal motion.
Set.
So a 5-yard pre-snap penalty for Keystone. We'll back the Wildcats up 5 yards. How about this career win-loss record for Adam Indorf, Rob? 104 wins, 34 losses. I don't care who you are. That'll play.
It'll play, and this is his 14th year, so that he did that in 13 years. Did the math. That's 8 wins a season and just a little more than 2.5 losses, and that's outstanding.
Yeah, it's hard to ask for much more than that. No. As far as consistency goes. We know how hard it is to be consistently good in high school football. Wyatt McKee takes the direct snap, bounces this one outside, breaks one wimpy tackler, and he is going to be upended across the 35-yard line, but another flag is thrown. Rob, you're doing the holding motion, and I think that's exactly what we'll have as the Wildcats will start to retreat. And another hold against Keystone. I know they've had a couple decline, but that's 3 or 4 holds already in this first half on Keystone, so Wildcats with some things to try to clean up here early.
Yeah, they've had a couple of penalties, with one pre-snap and then, like you said, a few holding calls. That's been a negative. The Cowling interception, a negative. Defensively, to me, they've played pretty much lights out. Got to be happy with that, with what Grizz has done with the defense. But definitely, and you expect that in week 1. You're going to have penalties. It's not going to be perfect. You expect it. Doesn't mean you like it if you're a coach,
right?
But you have to expect it.
So Cowling sits in the shotgun here, 4 receivers, 1 back. He'll fake the give to Cologne. Now looks across the middle, and that one over the head of the intended receiver, Braden Stanley, who stands at just 5'10", and he may have been 6'10" and not found a way to catch that one, Rob. That one well on top of where Stanley's hands were. Brings up 2nd down and 17, they'll say.
Cowling goes a little more sidearm, a little more often than I would think. With his height and where he is, I think if he would just throw it, he might have it. Sometimes it seems like when he's going sidearm, he's kind of aiming the football, and it hasn't had the success. but far be it from me. But
well, that's not
something
unlike
I see.
They'll tell baseball pitchers, "Hey, don't aim it, just throw it."
Just
right?
throw it.
It'll find its way where you want it to go. Cowling fakes the give. He'll throw this one, and that's over on that far sideline and through the hands of Braden Stanley. Would have been a very short gain regardless. And so now 3rd and 17, the situation for this Keystone offense. Ball at their own 23-yard line with 8:17 left to play in this first half.
A.J. Wolf, the cornerback for the Bobcats, outstanding right there. And he kind of got in front of that and made a very difficult pass to complete.
Give the Bobcat defense some credit here, Rob. They've buckled down these last couple of possessions. Of course, they forced that turnover last time they were out on the field, and they were back out on that field pretty quickly after the offense dissipated. But now Keystone in the 3rd and long. Cowling, and he's under pressure, and down he goes. Wow, look at how many white jerseys were back there in a hurry.
Well, they blitzed Connor Call, the linebacker, right up the middle. Wildcats didn't pick it up. Connor Call got in there untouched and got the sack, and that's a great job by the Bobcats for the 2nd consecutive series. Now, the penalties helped, but still you got to take advantage, and I love that call. Get aggressive. Went right up the middle. It's really the first time we've seen any pressure on Cowling, so to speak, and he went right down.
So I'll say that was a great timeout, I think, by Adam Indorf when he took one a couple of moments ago to kind of calm his guys down, get themselves collected, and they have been stout defensively in the couple of plays since then. This punt away, end over end near that 40-yard line as Norwayne will return this one in Wildcat territory, and the return man up near that 30-yard line. They'll give him maybe the 31, as on that return, that was Drew Wenninger, the junior. And so Norwayne, another really good starting field position for them here. They'll have it at the Keystone 31 with 7:25 left to play in this first half.
So for the 2nd consecutive series, Norwayne will start deep in Keystone's territory. Last series from the Keystone 37, turned it over on downs. And after holding Keystone, they forced them to punt from their own end zone. Great field position.
So the Norwayne defense doing their job right now. Can the offense find a way to come along for the ride? Lands fakes the give. Flush to his left, looking downfield and tight roping that sideline and making the catch in bounds for a solid gain is Drew Wenninger. As Wenninger is, oh, I'm sorry, check that. They're going to say that's Cade Leach. Cade Leach, that was number 9, I'm sorry. So Cade Leach with the reception. He's right at that first down marker, and they will give it to him. They'll move the chains, first down. A gain of 10 there for Cade Leach. And now they'll blow the whistles, and let's see. There was some hesitancy on that decision to move the chains, and I think they're just confirming that. So it is a first down reception there for Cade Leach, a gain of 10. And, oh boy, now some more hesitancies.
6:55 to go in the first half. Keystone leading it 16-0. I think they're resetting the clock.
Okay.
If you get a first down, that stops the clock.
Yep. Yeah, head coach for Norwayne, Adam Indorf, asking about a few things over there. And let's see. Okay, 7:10 put back on the game clock, so they'll add that time that ran off there. Lands takes the shotgun snap. Good pocket there, lobs this one to the end zone, and it's caught for a touchdown. Carter Miller, the 21-yard touchdown reception for Norwayne. A beautiful throw by quarterback Bradley Lands, and Norwayne right back into this one. They're finally on the board. A touchdown there for Carter Miller, 21-yard strike from quarterback Bradley Lands.
Boy, and the Bobcats need that, gets them back in this football game, 16-6. Now, will they go for 2? Because, nope, they're gonna kick. They're not gonna chase points yet.
So on for the extra point is the man who just caught the touchdown, Carter Miller. Will do the kicking this season for Norwayne, according to head coach Adam Indorf.
Tell you what, for his first varsity start, Lance has thrown some nice passes.
Sure has. Miller snap down, hold is good, and the kick is good as well. 16-7 our score. Norwayne strikes, but Keystone still out in front. We're right back with more after this timeout.
Hi, Tim Elkhorn, radio voice of the Cavs. For several years, you've heard me talk about EcoTree services. Recently, I needed trees removed, so of course, I contacted EcoTree. They did an incredible job. The folks at EcoTree were timely, efficient, and the work was flawless. Take it from me. When your trees need attention or even require removal, contact EcoTree Services. Like me, you'll love their work. Find EcoTree Services online at ecotreeservices.com.
Looking to buy, sell, or refinance? Make sure your investment is protected with Network Land Title Agency. As a locally owned title and escrow company, Network Land Title helps safeguard you from financial loss caused by defects in a property title, giving you peace of mind every step of the way. With services available across all 88 counties in Ohio, their experienced team is ready to help wherever you are. Visit networklandtitle.com today. Network Land Title Agency, safeguarding your investment, ensuring peace of mind.
That Carter Miller touchdown off the arm of Bradley Lands is another one on WEOL, brought to you by our friends at Mike Bass Ford. You get a great deal and a great deal more at Mike Bass Ford. So we'll have another kickoff brought to you by EcoTree Services. They are your trusted and complete tree care company. Carter Miller set to send this one deep. Wyatt McKee, Zach Taylor, the two deep men for Keystone. Miller will charge forward, put his right foot into it, and that one's a squib kick. Not quite an onside, I don't think, unless it was just a poorly attempted one. An easy fielding there for Keystone, as that was Mehmet Lupinar falling on top of that one. So a great job there by that young man. Scoring update here from Elyria Catholic. Tommy Evans taking in some Panther football. 4th TD for Schumpert, as EC leads 28-6, or it was soon to be 28-6. I think the extra point was pending when he texted us this, as EC beaten up right now in a Lutheran West program that I know they've struggled. Their field resides, 200-300 yards behind my house over there in Fairview Park, so familiar with them to some extent. 16-7 our score. Sorry about that, Rob, here in LaGrange.
Officials taking a timeout here, and I think they're just giving the guys a water break, because of the heat, when they do that sometimes early on.
How about head coach for Norwayne, Adam Indorf, offering the water bottle to the head official there? That's a very classy move.
He's a veteran coach.
Yeah. Works both ways, right? If the officials had those water bottles, I'm sure he would take the peace offering. I'll tell you what, there was a lot of cramping last night at Brown Stadium as Tim Alcorn and I were on the call for Avon and St. Ignatius. There was a lot of stoppages with some cramping issues. I can think back to our first 2 weeks of last season. I mean, really every season, these first couple of games in August, you'll get some of that, no question.
Yep. If kids wait to hydrate on game day, it's too late.
Yep.
You know that as being a coach.
3 receiver set here for Colton Cowling. He'll take the snap. He'll roll to his right. Under some pressure here. Giving Chaser a couple of defenders. Another flag gets thrown. Cowling escaping some pressure and gets past midfield down near the Norwayne 45. But that flag again in the Keystone offensive backfield. And Rob, I think that's going to be another hold against the Wildcats. And wouldn't you know it, it is, says the head official. Boy, too many of those, I think, for Brian Fox's liking here to start this first half, Rob.
Yeah, they're definitely going to have to watch the film and see, are all of them legit?
That's part of it.
You know what I mean? And then is it something that you're teaching? You got to change that, or just technique, whatever the case may be. Far too many in one half of football.
And those can be drive killers. I mean, what was a pretty solid game there from Colt Cowling turns into, a 1st and 20 now for Keystone at their own 35-yard line. Man in motion here as Cowling will give to McKee. McKee trying to break some tackles here, and he's running right into the teeth of a couple of Norwayne Bobcats. He's still up, refusing to go down, and finally he is corralled to the grass just shy of the 40. They'll give him the 38-yard line, maybe the 39, so a modest gain there for Wyatt McKee. They gave him the 39, so 2nd and 16 they'll say now, just under 6.5 left to play in this first half. Reminder, our halftime show coming up, brought to you by Lorain County Community College. Your year, your classes, your future. Enroll today at LCCC. 3 receiver set here for the Cats, all to Colt Cowling's right. And he'll look for the bubble screen again. That's Hagerman on the reception. Hagerman gets brought down. There was a knee on the grass, I thought. And they won't call it, as Hagerman able to sneak in a few more yards there as he bounced right off of that tackle.
But I thought Bobby Gurich might get called for a hold there, as the receiver was trying to block, and looked like it was called. He kind of pulled off, and good job by the Keystone wide receiver for getting as much as he could. But still, you got 3rd and long here, and these penalties are really hard to overcome, especially early on for an offense. You know, when they had their drives and were scoring touchdowns early, they didn't have to contend with penalties.
Right. 3rd and 13 now. Coling takes the shotgun snap, rolls out to his left. Arnold giving Chase Cowling in some trouble, just trying to find a lane to go, and finally he slides down just past that original line of scrimmage, so Cowling able to pick up about 4 there, but well shy of the line to gain, and so that will be 4th down and 9-ish to go for the Wildcats. And let's see.
And this Bobcats defense is starting to keep their team in this football game and give their team a chance. And here comes the Wildcat punt team for the first time. So the Bobcats get another stop. And the momentum is clearly going to the team from Wayne County.
You can see Brian Fox over here on our left giving some instruction to Colton Cowling, asking Wyatt McKee to come trotting over as well. So maybe he sees something that they can try to adjust to, because, I mean, you're right, Rob. Norwayne's defense has brought them back into this ballgame and has really kind of evened things a bit here in this first half. Low snap here to the Keystone punter. He finally gets this one away. A spiraling kick that takes a bounce inside the 5 near the goal line. And is that down at the 1? It is.
What a punt by Bobby Gurridge.
Wow.
I'm sorry, that's Kyle Hurley.
Yeah, Kyle Hurley. What a spin, bounce, whatever you want to call it, of that football after it hit the grass. A longer grass, you could say, Rob, as we took our pregame saunter down onto the field. Maybe the folks here at Keystone call Eco Tree Services to have something done about that. I tease, but
I was thinking when he punted that and the way it checked up, maybe he should be at Mallard Creek, our post-game sponsor.
There you go.
You take a sand wedge, and the way he did that, where that can really flip the momentum back to Keystone, is the Bobcats are in a tough spot right here at their own 1-yard line.
Well, as you know, Rob, your play calling becomes oh so limited at the 1. I mean, there's next to no creativity. You're just first and foremost trying to get yourself some breathing room.
Just trying to avoid a safety.
Yep. I formation here, and the turn and the give to the tailback. That's Maxwell who gets upended for a short gain of, maybe 1, maybe 2.
And I was a little surprised that they handed it off to the tailback, only because we've seen on a couple of occasions the Keystone defensive line shoot through and get a loss. I thought they might just quarterback sneak and try to get a yard or 2.
Yeah, I never gave you those Keystone starters defensively. John Falte, Luke DeVore, Jack Bolton, the 3 big fellas up front. Bobby Gurich, Kyle Hurley, Wyatt McKee are the backers. Mason Grams, Mehmet Alupinar are the corners. Dimitri Ruby, beg your pardon. Brendan Hagerman, Zach Taylor will all rotate in and around at safety. So another power eye here. 3 guys behind quarterback Bradley Lands. The toss goes to Miller, and he tried to turn that corner, and he couldn't. No room to run there for Carter Miller. And he's basically right back to where that play started, maybe even lost half a yard there, Rob. Kind of tough to tell over there on that far sideline. But again, backs are against the wall right now for the Norwayne Bobcats. 3rd and long with 3:15 and counting left to play in this first half.
And if the Bobcats can't get a first down here, I wouldn't be surprised if Keystone, as long as it's not an incomplete pass that stops the clock, I wouldn't be surprised if Keystone likes to take a timeout, try to preserve some of that time for their offense. So this might be one of the biggest plays of the first half, Rocco, is Norwayne tries to get a first down desperately from their own 3.
Let's see what Keystone does defensively. Do they gamble and try to shoot some gaps and go for that safety, or do they play it a little more conservatively? Just make sure you stop him short of the sticks and try to force that punt. Lance takes the snap, rolling to his left. He fires down the field, and that one is caught near the 10, but a flag in the end zone, and is that going to be a late hit? I see some Bobcats clapping as that ball was caught by Wenninger.
If it's holding in the end zone, it would be a safety.
Well, and so the Cats are saying holding, and no, they're going to point that one was against Keystone, and it is a roughing the passer, so you can tack on 15 yards as that ball was caught by Drew Wenninger out near that 10-yard line.
Tell you what, Coach Indorf, he has a lot of confidence in Bradley Lands. You have a sophomore making his first varsity start, 3rd and 8 from his own 3, and you have the confidence in that young man to not take a safety, not take a sack, not make a mistake or a turnover, and on 3rd and 8 from his own 3 to throw for it and get a first down. That's a heck of a lot of confidence to have and a sophomore, and a great play for the Bobcats that gets them a much-needed first down.
Well, and what it does, Rob, is it gives that young sophomore a lot of confidence,
Yes.
too. When your head coach is telling you, yeah, I trust you to get us out of this situation, and he does just that. Lands again on the shotgun pass. He floats this one out wide to Carter Miller, caught with room to run up the near side, or the far sideline, and another flag gets thrown. And, boy, there's a lot of holding on going on these bubble screens from both sides.
Yep, and this one's going against Norwayne.
Let's see. Young man standing sideways. I think that's Leach number 9, Cade Leach, who was the guilty party, and he was.
Yeah, sometimes, too, maybe we should clarify this. On these screens, what we see on both teams where they get holding, I don't think they're on linemen. I think they're on the wide receivers that are trying to make a block on a defender so that they can make a big play out of it. Sometimes linemen always get blamed for holding.
Right.
I think these are on the wide receivers more often than not.
So, 1st and 20, ball back at the 15-yard line. They haven't changed it on the scoreboard yet. Lance takes the shotgun snap, another quick hitter, that one to Arnold. Arnold with some blockers in front of him, but Keystone rallies quickly. And that is a short gain there for Norwayne as John Folte, the senior,
defensive
making the tackle.
Yeah.
We asked the athletic director and head boys basketball coach and track coach here at Keystone, Jeff Holzhauer, hey, is that Folte, Folte? And he said Folte, and we said, well, that's okay. 2nd and 15 now for Norwayne at their own 20-yard line. Just under 2 minutes left to play in this first half. 2nd and 15. 4 wide receivers set here for Bradley Lands, the sophomore quarterback. Chaz Maxwell in the backfield next to him. Lance takes that snap. He'll float this one out to Carter Miller, who makes the catch on the out route, but closing quickly. And making a sure-handed tackle was Bobby Gurich. And do we get the timeout from Keystone? We do. So you called that one, Rob. Keystone, I think, is going to try to save some time to get a stop and then get the ball back for their offense to try to get some more points on the board before the break. So the Wildcats will call time. We'll step aside for a quick timeout as well. 1:40 left to play in the first half. Keystone leads Norwayne 16-7 in the first half here from LaGrange. Rocco Nucci, Rob Polinsky, Dave Rydell, Gary Pelter. Back with you guys after this.
At Nick Abraham Elyria Ford, we offer great service and a great selection of vehicles. And right now, get 0% financing for 36 months on all new Ford vehicles in stock. At Nick Abraham Elyria Ford, we make it that easy. Stop in or shop us at buyabraham.com.
Quick timeout as we are back here in LaGrange. 3rd and 9, the situation for Norwayne as Keystone took that defensive timeout. We got 1:40 left on that first half clock. Ball for Norwayne is spotted at their own 26.
You know what? Even if Norwayne does not get the first down here, what they've done is they've gained over 20 yards because of that conversion on 3rd when they were at their own 3. And that might be the difference in Keystone getting points or not getting points. You know, but that's a huge 20 yards, even if they can't convert on 3rd and 10.
So Lands in the shotgun, 3 receivers split to his right, 1 near side on the left. Chaz Maxwell behind him. More of a pistol look here, actually, for Lands. As the sophomore will take the snap, pressure here. It's a screen. It's set up beautifully. And on the run here is Chaz Maxwell across the 35. He's got the first down and a couple yards more as he gets out to about the 37-yard line, maybe the 38. Chaz Maxwell. A nice gain of about 13 yards there. A much-needed pickup for Norwayne. To your point, Rob, they might have been able to avoid giving up points anyway, but they'll keep the drive alive now. 1st down and 10. With under 1:30 left to go.
Really impressive to convert on 3rd and 8 and 3rd and 10 on the same drive.
Lands, he'll turn, he'll give to Maxwell, and he's got nowhere to run as Keystone was all over that one. A host of black jerseys in there. Wyatt McKee in on that stop. A couple of others as well. Riley Jackson, first time we've called that young man's name here tonight. He'll come trotting off after that one, though. Maybe a helmet issue.
Now it's Norwayne that takes a timeout. That's interesting.
So Bobcats will take one. It'll be 2nd down and 10 from their own 37 with 1:14 left to go. We'll keep this one right here.
Well, we've got a minute. I'm looking at Jeff Holzhauer, the athletic director, head boys basketball coach, and track and field coach, hustling down the track. And just great to see Jeff. Thanks for his hospitality. Everybody here, every time we come to Keystone, it's one of our favorite places to come because of guys like Jeff Holzhauer who make it so nice for us to come. And when you get some Romeo's Pizza, that never hurts either.
There you go.
Thanks to Jeff and his staff once again for having us here.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, I'm walking in with a bunch of different bags hanging over me, and he's in the middle of a conversation, and he just stopped everything. Hey, you need a hand? You know where you're going? You got everything you need up there, and just really goes to show you. And it's not just Jeff. I mean, it is especially Jeff, but it's everybody here in this LaGrange community. They certainly treat you well when you come out here to Keystone, and that'll certainly
I wore my hat to support.
L.A. Grange is what Rob Polinsky is sporting here tonight.
Some people think it's a L.A. Dodgers hat, but it's not. It's a L.A. Grange Keystone hat tonight.
I think Otani's been to the depot once or twice. Shotgun snap here for Bradley Lands. He's under some pressure, pocket collapsing, and he escapes. Bradley Lands nearing that 50-yard line. He puts his head down and then gets wrestled down hard. Just shy of the 50. That was a hard tackle by Mehmet Alupinar. As Bobby Gurich will come over to have a conversation with him afterwards, saying, hey, wait a minute, we don't need any cheap 15-yard personal foul, taunting any of that.
I think Lance needs to understand, hey, you get a chance to get out of bounds. Get out of bounds. And they've got it all the way out to midfield. This drive started inside their own 1-yard line, and, the Bobcats might just run out of time. We have under a minute to play.
Yeah, 50 seconds left now. 1 timeout left for Norwayne, 2 left for Keystone. As Lance takes the snap, he's looking deep down that far sideline and floating out of bounds. And past the outstretched hands of the intended receiver. As that was Cade Leach over there on that far sideline. Good coverage out there in the back end for the Keystone secondary. Sets up 2nd and 10 now for Norwayne. Ball still right at midfield.
And Keystone has to beware of the big play here because at the time we're down to 40 seconds. I believe the scoreboard says that the Bobcats have 1 timeout remaining, so you got to beware of the big play here. You can give up, a 5-yard or a 10-yard, but you can't let them run past you.
Well, it looks like Keystone, they're going to bring maybe just 1 or 2 here. Yeah, they'll send 2 and drop 9 back. So Lands reading that defense and nowhere to go there. He just swords that one out of bounds. He was looking for Drew Wenninger at about the 35-yard line, but nothing doing there. And so it'll be 3rd and 10 now for Norwayne. Ball again at midfield. And to your point, Rob, you're running out of time if you're Norwayne. You got to pick up some yards in a hurry, and it's one of those, I think, if you're sophomore quarterback Bradley Lands, don't try to be the hero, right? You can't win the game in these next 35 seconds, but you can take some steps towards losing it with a big mistake. So
I think one thing they could try to do here, maybe, if they're going to drop 9 and rush 2, send all your receivers deep, and then just let Lands run. The 2 defenders shouldn't be able to get him down, and he might be able to, to get some yardage here.
You could get some blocking in front of you, too, with that. Keystone will send 2 again. Lands looking far sideline. It's Arnold who makes the catch. He needs to get out of bounds, and he does. Just past the 45-yard line. They'll maybe mark him out right at the 45. So a pickup of 5 there for Norwayne. It sets up 4th down and 5 now with 28 seconds. And let's see what Norwayne does, right? If you don't pick this up, you're giving Keystone a little bit of time to try to drive the other way. But if you do convert here, you still have a last chance grasp of getting some points here to end this first half. So a big decision here. Looks like they'll keep the offense out there.
I think because of the big plays and what they've done on this drive, you owe it to yourself to try to go for it. But you make a good point. If they don't get it, you're giving Keystone an opportunity, albeit very late in the half. If you punt, Keystone probably has no chance to score.
So here we go, 4th and 5. 4 wide receivers set for Lands. Takes the snap in the pistol. Lands stepping up high, arching ball deep into double coverage, and that one falls incomplete as that one was well past the intended receiver, Carter Miller, who was streaking down the field trying to find some room to get open, and Lands unable to hook up with him. It's a turnover on downs for Norwayne. So Keystone will get it back at their own 45 with 22 seconds left to go. 2 timeouts. I think that's tempting enough for Brian Fox to maybe try to do something here.
For sure. And, they go 55 yards on that and unofficially 11 plays, and it ends over on a turnover on downs. But that was a really impressive drive for Norwayne. Had 2 long 3rd down conversions.
Well, that was a drive that started at their 1.
Yes.
To your point, Rob, at their own 1-yard line. They were able to get their backs off against the wall and nearly find a way to get some points. Instead, a turnover on downs, and Keystone now a chance to get some points of their own. The floating pass out to McKee. He's got blockers in front. McKee puts his head down and barrels forward across the Norwayne 45 into Bobcat territory down near the 43. Clock will stop at 15 seconds. Boy, how did only 1 second come off the clock there? I'm not sure. Now they'll roll it.
Wyatt McKee is the kind of guy, anytime he catches it, he could go.
8 seconds left to go. Shot. Keystone didn't take a timeout there. Cowling throwing that one before his receiver had his head turned, and that one falls incomplete. It was Bobby Gurich he was looking for. He was guarded tightly by Carter Miller for Norwayne, and a dangerous throw there for Cowling, and now just 5 seconds left to go for Keystone. Does Brian just have Colt try to heave one to the end zone? Well, he's going to take a timeout to talk about it. We'll step aside as well. 16-7 our score. 5 seconds left to play here in the first half of play. Again, Keystone in front of Norwayne 16-7. We're back with the final play of the first half after this.
At Nick Abraham Buick GMC, we make it that easy with more value, more choices, and less hassle. Right now, lease a 2026 GMC Sierra for just $199 a month, or buy the Buick Envista for just $23,350. Stop in or shop us at buyabraham.com.
Rob, I'll let you pass along that scoring update that just came through on your phone there.
Okay, it's 17-0. Trying to think, Rocco's Warriors, that would be Walsh Jesuit
there you go. Yeah.
Over Highland, and that ball game is our Medina County matchup. And, well, we've got a minute. You know, how cool is it that this year the Medina County matchup, after about 20 years, now they've added the video component, so we're not just showing one game video-wise on the Chronicle Telegram YouTube page and WEOL.com. Now 2 of our 3 matchups every Friday have the video component, and it will be that Medina County matchup each and every Friday.
That's fantastic. Shout out to you, Bill Hudnut, and others for making that possible. As Colt Cowling takes the shotgun snap, he's going to throw this one away, and that will bring an end to the first half of play. Brian Fox, I think he's asking if maybe should be another second or 2 on the clock, unless he's just screaming at the offensive line, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's a little unhappy, I think, with his offensive line. But nonetheless, that will bring us to the end of the first half. Keystone, boy, I tell you what, they start the game with that surprise onside kick. They score 16 unanswered after that. But Norwayne, they get the touchdown. They're back within 9, as this has been a good one so far through 24 minutes of game action. We'll step aside for our halftime show. That is brought to you by Lorain County Community College. Your year, your classes, your future. Enroll today at LCCC. That's Lorain County Community College. Well, we'll look at the scoring plays and big plays from that first half. We'll talk about things a little bit. We'll try to find some scores from around the area. Tell you what else is coming up on in the near future for WEOL, including the debut of the Nick Abraham Saturday Sports Wrap-Up Show tomorrow. Our first one of the new football season. Was going to say the first one of 2026, but that's a lie. We had some during basketball season in this calendar year, but scholastically speaking, for 2026, this will be our first Nick Abraham Saturday Sports Wrap-Up Show tomorrow. So as the bands get set to do their thing, we'll step aside quickly for a timeout. We'll bring it right back. It is halftime here in LaGrange. Keystone in front of Norwayne, 16-7. Lorain County Community College halftime show coming up after this.
Industries are changing quickly, and this means new high-paying jobs are showing up every day. Employers are ready to hire now. The best part? Lorain County Community College offers free fast-track programs designed to get you working in 16 weeks or less. You will learn the skills, get hired, and finally find a job you love in healthcare, advanced manufacturing, trades, business, information technology. Don't wait. Enroll today.
Now's the time to start planning your 2027 golf outing at Mallard Creek Golf Club. With 36 beautifully maintained holes, 4 pavilions, stock pro shop, and an expansive driving range, Mallard Creek is the perfect venue for groups of any size. From start to finish, their friendly staff will walk you through every step, and they're a trusted home for charity fundraisers and community events. Dates can book up fast, so call David Venezuela at 440-748-8231 or visit themallardcreek.com to reserve your 2027 outing today.
Looking to buy, sell, or refinance? Make sure your investment is protected with Network Land Title Agency. As a locally owned title and escrow company, Network Land Title helps safeguard you from financial loss caused by defects in a property title, giving you peace of mind every step of the way. With services available across all 88 counties in Ohio, their experienced team is ready to help wherever you are. Visit networklandtitle.com today. Network Land Title Agency. Safeguarding your investment, ensuring peace of mind.
Hi, Tim Elkhorn, radio voice of the Cavs. For several years, you've heard me talk about EcoTree services. Recently, I needed trees removed, so of course, I contacted EcoTree. They did an incredible job. The folks at EcoTree were timely, efficient, and the work was flawless. Take it from me. When your trees need attention or even require removal, contact EcoTree Services. Like me, you'll love their work. Find EcoTree Services online at ecotreeservices.com.
Enjoy bigger buys and bigger discounts during the Labor Day sale at Stewart's TV and Appliance. Save thousands when you bundle eligible name brand appliances. Or get loads of savings on GE Profile washers and dryers while supplies last. Plus, we offer 0% financing and free local delivery. We're rewarding you for all your hard work with great deals during the Labor Day sale at Stewart's TV and Appliance. When you shop Stewart's, it's all about you.
Halftime here in LaGrange. Keystone leads Norwayne 16-7 here at the break. Rocco Nucci and Rob Polinsky here with you. Dave Rydell, our on-site producer and engineer, with Gary Pelter high atop the press box here on the roof. And I know if you're watching on WEOL, you obviously can't see it, but I do want to shout out that new banner that we purchased in the offseason that Dave Rydell very quickly and swiftly zip-tied up there. Fantastic work by you, Dave, and so that'll certainly be a nice sight from some of our fans. You'll know whenever you see that WEOL banner, that new one out at game sites, that you can find that contest live on WEOL.com. Also on that Chronicle Telegram YouTube channel. And Rob, I'll say one thing. This was a thing last year, but for those who may be a little unfamiliar with how, YouTube and some of these streaming softwares can work, this game live, let's say tonight's game here between Keystone and Norwayne, you're not relegated to just watching this game now. The nice thing about this is that it automatically archives itself right onto that YouTube channel. So as soon as we're done here tonight, you can go back in, you can replay the whole game, certain parts of the game if you want, the big plays, all of the plays, none of the plays. It doesn't matter, as much or as little as you want of the replay. Always available on that Chronicle Telegram YouTube channel. Games going all the way back to last year are archived pretty immediately right on there, and I just think that's a cool feature. You think back to last night, it was a thriller downtown Cleveland at Brown Stadium, Avon winning it on a 2-point conversion at the end, and for those who may have missed it, wanted to go back and watch it, they could. I just think that's a cool thing that YouTube allows you to do.
I think a lot of people watched that play last night with Sikora to Jackson Palmer.
Boy, no kidding. Yeah,
how about that? Congratulations to the Avon Eagles. Somehow, some way, they just always seem to find a way. Now, last night, that's not normally how it works, but let's face it, it's basically a brand new team.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of seniors that have waited for their opportunity. And St. Ignatius, it sounds like, is much improved. But when they had to have it, the Avon Eagles, and that's, I think, what impresses me with them. Obviously some of the things impress you, but Rocco, when you think about it for a minute, it's week 1, right? And they had to kind of drive that maybe, especially in high school football, you might have to get to week 7, 8, 9 before your offense is going on all night. But to make those kind of plays, to convert a 4th and 8 in your own territory, to score the winning touchdown, then to have the guts and that wasn't an easy 2-point play. It wasn't it wasn't Wyatt McKee over the left guard. Yeah. I mean, that was a big time throw for Sikora.
Yeah.
And for Palmer to get a foot down in bounds was equally impressive. And Avon finds a way, and they haven't been in that position very often either.
Right.
So that's why I was really impressed, because you think back, a lot of times they're clocking teams, right? They're not in a situation like that where they have to execute like that,
right.
And they found a way.
Well, I thought one interesting stat going into the night, and I guess it still holds true, it's been a while since the Avon Eagles lost a football game in the state of Ohio. You'd have to go back to the 2023 postseason where they lost to Archbishop Hoban. That's the last time Avon has lost a football game in the state of Ohio. Of course, their lone blemish last year was all the way down in Florida when they took on Spruce Creek. So it's a state that Mike Elder feels pretty comfortable trying to win in.
And you'd also have to go back further then to find out when was the last time they lost a regular season game to a team from the state of Ohio. It's at least back to 2022.
Yeah,
at least.
Right.
And I say that I don't know the answer, but I know it hasn't happened since at least then.
Yeah, it's been an incredible run for those guys in purple and Avon, and a pretty nice first half for the guys in purple in LaGrange. Keystone leads Norwayne here 16-7, our score here at the break. I'll go through some of our scoring plays here quickly, and you got to start, Rob, I think, with that surprise onside kick to start the game. What a call there by Brian Fox. You talk about the moxie of Avon Eagle head coach Mike Elder to go for 2 for the win last night. I beg your pardon, not Mike Elder. Brian Fox rolling the dice with the onside kick to start the game. His guys fall on it. Wyatt McKee punches that drive with a 2-yard touchdown plunge. He had the 2-point conversion as well, made it 8-0. Keystone would get it right back after a defensive stand. Colt Cowling finding Braden Stanley on a 7-yard touchdown strike across the middle. Again, McKee, basically the same play that he scored the touchdown and that first 2-point conversion on, right behind the left tackle into the end zone for the 2-point conversion, made it 16-0. Then in the second quarter, a costly interception from Colt Cowling. He was intercepted by Carter Miller, and Norwayne later in that quarter would convert a 21-yard touchdown throw from Bradley Lange, the sophomore. He's been impressive, to Carter Miller. Extra point was good as Norwayne wasn't chasing points. I know you said that quite yet. And that made it 16-7, and that's where we stand now here at the break. But I thought Keystone really seized that momentum early, and you were almost thinking, could the Wildcats start to pull away, run away with this one a little bit? Norwayne was in danger of letting that happen. McKee had that 77-yard touchdown catch and run, whatever it was, called back because of the holding. Adam Indorf took a timeout right after that play, and the Norwayne defense, it was almost like a light switch went on for them. It's been night and day, the difference in their performance since that moment.
Think about it. The first 2 drives for Keystone, they go right down the field. They get in the Stewart's TV and Appliance red zone both times. They haven't been there since. Norwayne has not been in the red zone once. Their touchdown was a 21-yard pass. Right. But I do think the biggest play of the half to switch the momentum was that touchdown being called back. Because if Keystone goes up 22 or 24-0, it's probably over.
Yeah.
But 16-0, they get that called back. Norwayne then scores a touchdown to make it 16-7. Their defense has played much better since those first 2 drives. They've been aided, obviously, with some penalties, but you have to take advantage of that. Norwayne has. And I think Norwayne now also, with their quarterback, getting a half of a game in, and we've seen some good throws from him from time to time, he's gaining confidence. In that last drive of the second quarter, even though they turned it over on downs on the Wildcat 45, has to give them confidence. I think this first series is really important. Which team is Keystone going to regain the momentum they had early in the game when they get it on offense? Is Norwayne going to keep this momentum that they've got from the second quarter and keep that going, get the ball back for their offense? I really think this first drive is pretty critical for both teams.
I'm right there with you. Yeah, does Brian Fox in the offense, do they have a counter for what Norwayne's been throwing at them? Or, to your point, does Norwayne kind of keep stymieing them defensively, and can that Bobcat offense keep finding enough to bring Norwayne fully back into this ball game? Let's step aside, take another timeout here on our Lorain County Community College halftime show. We'll check in from some scores from around the area. Dave, I know you've been hard at work keeping track of those. We'll check in with our other 2 games on the WEOL Family Network here tonight. And we'll dive into some keys to the second half. Just under 10 minutes left to go here at the half. Our score from LaGrange. Keystone leads Norwayne 16-7. Rockanushi, Rob Polinsky, Dave Rydell, Gary Pelter, all back with you after this timeout.
At Nick Abraham Elyria Ford, we offer great service and a great selection of vehicles. And right now, get 0% financing for 36 months on all new Ford vehicles in stock. At Nick Abraham Elyria Ford, we make it that easy. Stop in or shop us at buyabraham.com. At Nick Abraham Buick GMC, we make it that easy with more value, more choices, and less hassle. Right now, lease a 2026 GMC Sierra for just $199 a month, or buy the Buick Envista for just $23,350. Stop in or shop us at buyabraham.com.
Enjoy bigger buys and bigger discounts during the Labor Day sale at Stewart's TV and Appliance. Save thousands when you bundle eligible name brand appliances. Or get loads of savings on GE Profile washers and dryers while supplies last. Plus, we offer 0% financing and free local delivery. We're rewarding you for all your hard work with great deals during the Labor Day sale at Stewart's TV and Appliance. When you shop Stewart's, it's all about you.
Back here at the half, this is our Lorain County Community College halftime show. Your year, your classes, your future. Enroll today at Lorain County Community College. Rockanushi, Rob Polinsky here with you. Dave Rydell, our on-site producer and engineer, with Gary Pelter manning the camera atop the press box here in LaGrange. Let's run through some of these scores from in and around the area. Let's start out in Menor, Rob, with the Cardinals leading Olmsted Falls 17-14. So Tom DeLuca and his friends giving Menor all they can ask for and some more at the half. A 3-point game there from Menor. In Sandusky, Tom Thome and the Comets in enemy territory have an 8-point lead at the intermission there. It's 21-13 Amherst on top of Sandusky. Again, that is a halftime score. Out in Cleveland Heights, the Tigers trailing Wadsworth 21-6. The Grizzlies, boy, I tell you, impressive year after year after year. And they look dangerous once again here in the new campaign. In Grafton, Midview, the Middies on top of Westlake 21-14. Head coach Jack Armstrong and his guys a lead at the intermission there. Medina Highland at home down 17 to Walsh Jesuit. That is our Medina County matchup on the Chronicle Telegram YouTube channel. That's our other videoed streaming game tonight here on the YouTube channel. And Highland in some trouble at the break. Hornets trailing Walsh Jesuit 17-0. Out in Berea, the Titans of Berea Mid-Park lead Brunswick under first-year head coach James Boyes, making the trek over from Lorain this offseason. Berea leads them 21-14. That's a late second quarter score. Mike Rice and the Columbia Raiders at home having all kinds of fun at the expense of the Blue Devils of Independence, where I do my girls basketball coaching. 35-7 the score there. I won't take any responsibility for that. It would be worse, I'm sure, if I was on the staff there.
Does that mean you're not going to talk to Mike Rice tomorrow on the Nick Abraham Saturday morning sports wrap-up show?
I tell you what, he actually owes me one, and I say that half kidding, but our forecast show that we returned this week, Mike Rush and I, we reached out to a couple of coaches, and it was live in the evening. I know we kind of used to pre-record some things and set that up, so it was a little tougher to try to get guys within that window. Mike had texted us and said, yeah, I got a community event thing going on. Is that the only time I can maybe kind of do it, maybe? And we were like, yeah, okay, yeah, see what you can do. And he ended up not being able to do it. He texted me after. He said, oh, I'm so sorry. I'll get you guys. I was like, well, hey, you take care of business on Friday. And
maybe
you
he was
Saturday.
Just getting you back. You guys had him there, and then you let him get out the door without an interview.
Jared let him out the door. Now, Jared took a beating on air last night, so I can't even – I won't continue that here. For many more things, that not being one of them. So you can imagine how that went. So and he's not even here to defend himself tonight, so I'll give him a breather. But anyway, yeah, Mike Rice and the Columbia Raiders up big at the half, so I'm sure we'll be hearing from him tomorrow on the return of the Nick Abraham Saturday Sports wrap-up show. In Medina, Buckeye trailing Cloverleaf 10-6 at the break. That's a good one there. Western Reserve late in the second quarter all over Wellington 24-7. How cool was it for those 6 Oberlin kids, by the way, Rob? We haven't talked about that tonight. They were able to go play football at Wellington. We had Coach Howes on that forecast show. We were asking him about that, saying, hey, when you got Dukes this, Dukes that, you're preaching all this Wellington side. You got 6 kids who, they can maybe temporarily identify with that. And he told us, he was honest. He was like, yeah, it's, it could be a little weird sometimes, but they're great kids. They've really taken to what we're giving them. And he's even said, there's a couple of them, they're still thinking, we're Oberlin kids. We're doing this for the Oberlin community as much as we are, playing for Wellington. I think that's really cool.
It is really cool. It's unique. I think we're going to see more and more of it. I think you're going to see, you look, Norwayne doesn't exactly have a ton of kids out there for a school that is the success they've had.
Right.
I think you're going to see more and more schools across the state either drop football or go to 8-man. They just don't have the numbers. And so you may see more and more of this happening. So good for both communities who are rival communities to accept the players. And, it benefits Wellington because, let's face it, it's not like they've got a ton of numbers either.
Right.
So for them to add 6 football players really helps them out. We'll see what goes on. Whenever you get done with the scores, then I can give you the big plays if we need to do that too.
Sure. Quickly finish a couple here.
Sure.
Vermilion all the way down in Johnstown. Taking on the Johnnies. And they're up 14-6. How about Bill DeFucci and gang out in front there? Strongsville skunking Avon Lake in the second quarter, 24-0. Mustangs beaten up on Matt Kostelnik and the Shoremen. North Olmsted trailing the East Lake North Rangers 16-10 at home. North Royalton leads Valley Forge in the second quarter 23-0. Elyria Catholic beaten up on Lutheran West 28-6 the score there. North Ridgeville trailing Uniontown Lake 14-0. Clearview leads Shaw 6-0. And that's really the only other scores of note. Don't have any update from Firelands and don't have an update from Maple Heights. Lorraine is in Maple Heights to take on the Mustang. Firelands is at home taking on Rhodes. Don't have any scores there. Finley in front of Medina in the second quarter, 13-7. Mayfield 49-0 over Elyria in the first half. And how about this shootout down in Hunting Valley University School in Brookside? I'll turn the phone your way, Rob, so you can see it so you know I'm not lying. 64-42, University School upends Brookside. Over 100 points scored between those two sides, Rob. That's incredible.
And that's a final?
I believe that is a final.
Okay,
that one was a 5 o'clock kick because they
well,
don't have the lights down there at University School.
We were told that this was supposed to be the first year they were going to get them. We talked to Ben Malbassa last year. We had that game. If you remember, Rocco, you and Ron Jans had U.S. at Brookside.
That's right.
And
that's right.
And the only reason I remember that is I saw it on a Facebook memory today. And so don't give me that much credit. And Ben was telling us he thought they'd have lights, but obviously they don't, or they wouldn't have played in the afternoon. But the Bobby Stout era gets underway there at Brookside.
Yeah.
So the good news is they get 42 points. So obviously they've got some offense. They got to shore up their defense. But Malbassa and U.S. has always been an offensive school. So, if they can shore up that defense, maybe they'll have some success at Brookside. Let's look at some of the big plays from the first half as we go right on the opening drive. McKee on that 31-yard run. So it wasn't just that they got the onside kick to midfield, but then on the first play, they go 31 yards. It gets them in the Stewart TV and Appliance red zone, and they end up getting a touchdown. Later on in the first half, Cowling to Taylor on a 24-yard pass, and then Cowling to Stanley on a 16-yard pass. So the Wildcats unofficially had 3 plays of over 15 yards, and for Norwayne unofficially, they just had the one. Lands to Miller, their 21-yard touchdown, was their big play of the first half.
Thank you, Rob. Appreciate that. So why don't we sneak in one more timeout here for this Lorain County Community College halftime show. When we come back, we'll get you some keys to the second half. Of course, keys to the game all night long and all season long on WEOL are brought to you by our friends at Network Land Title Agency, the best in title and escrow services. Again, at the half, it is Keystone 16, Norwayne 7. We're back with final halftime thoughts and the start of the third quarter after this.
At Nick Abraham Elyria Ford, we offer great service and a great selection of vehicles. And right now, get 0% financing for 36 months on all new Ford vehicles in stock. At Nick Abraham Elyria Ford, we make it that easy. Stop in or shop us at buyabraham.com.
Industries are changing quickly, and this means new high-paying jobs are showing up every day. Employers are ready to hire now. The best part? Lorain County Community College offers free fast-track programs designed to get you working in 16 weeks or less. You will learn the skills, get hired, and finally find a job you love. In healthcare, advanced manufacturing, trades, business, information technology. Don't wait. Enroll today.
At Nick Abraham Buick GMC, we make it that easy with more value, more choices, and less hassle. Right now, lease a 2026 GMC Sierra for just $199 a month, or buy the Buick Envista for just $23,350. Stop in or shop us at buyabraham.com.
Well, a couple of moments left here in the Lorain County Community College halftime show. Keystone leads Norwayne 16-7. And let me quickly mention our games next week while we have a moment. Week 2 on WEOL, on the Chronicle Telegram YouTube channel, and on WEOL.com. Our 2 videoed streaming games will have these Keystone Wildcats in action. They're on the road at Cloverleaf to take on the Colts. And then Pine Richland from Pennsylvania, Rob, coming in to take on Mike Elder and the Avon Eagles. So Mike's told us about that, right? It can be tough to get those in-state non-conference games because of the success that they had. So they reached out of state like they did last year going down to Florida. They're going to bring in Pine Richland. Their quarterback, Mike Rush, was texting me this last night, is a verbal commit to your guys' Kent State Golden Flashes. I thought that was kind of neat. So we'll get to see that young man in action next week on WEOL.com and on that Chronicle Telegram YouTube channel. So not every day you see these out-of-state, non-conference matchups, but pretty cool when they do happen.
Right, and you have no idea what to expect, although the team out of the Pittsburgh area, Western PA has excellent high school football, as we all know. Mm-hmm. And, it will be interesting to see how Avon does bouncing back after that emotional victory last night. How will they respond? Maybe one extra day to prep isn't going to hurt Avon either, right? Playing on a Thursday night. I don't know who Pine Richland played tonight, but something tells me Avon might have taken a little road trip
went
over to PA to check that out. But, yeah, it'll be very exciting to see that. And I was trying to see around your hat there for our other games. These Keystone Wildcats will be right back in action.
Yep.
You mentioned Cloverleaf beating Buckeye right now.
Yeah, they're up by 4 at the half.
Yeah, so obviously Cloverleaf's improved. Keystone's at Cloverleaf next week. That'll be the Medina County matchup. That's on the Chronicle Telegram YouTube page. That's our Stream 3. And then Tom Evans and I will be over in the land of Cliff German. As it'll be Firelands and Vermilion as the Stillman Cup. And that'll be on WEOL.com, stream 2 next Friday night from Sailor Nation.
I knew what I was doing, sending you into the German lair out there in Vermilion. Always a good time seeing Cliff in that press box.
And Cliff is already, mapping out our post game for next Friday night.
Mapping or mapped? Like complete. I feel like that process has been completed.
Oh yeah, it's one-stop shop with Cliff. We know where we're going.
No question. So Rob, why don't you? I'm going to throw you on the spot here again, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Maybe a key to the game for one or both sides here in the second half.
Well, we gave you the key for Keystone, so let's flip the switch now for the network land title keys to the game. Network Land Title Agency, the best in title and escrow services for Norwayne. I just think it's impressive how down 16-0 on the road, and really not a lot was going well for you. You don't have a lot of skilled kids back, and they've bounced back to get right back into football games. So I think for them, the key to this is, I know it's going to sound pretty cliche, but if they can contain Keystone on this drive, don't let Wyatt McKee get a big play. Don't let him get a big play in special teams. If you can get them to turn that ball over and then have some success on this first drive, I think that's a real key for Norwayne, and they just kind of keep the things up, doing what they were doing. If I'm them, I try to find a way to get the ball maybe to Braylon Arnold a little bit more than they did in the first half. I think he's a really big target. Could be something that Bradley Lands could get to, but Lands is a sophomore. He's got to be getting more and more confidence as this game is going on.
I'm with you, Rob. They looked to Arnold a couple of times early and then kind of went away from him the rest of that first half. So let's see, to your point, if they do get him a little more involved with the offense here in quarter number 3. And there are your keys to the game, brought to you by Network Land Title Agency, the best in title and escrow services. And that was the halftime show, brought to you by Lorain County Community College.
You can put me on the spot anytime. That's why you guys pay me the big money. I can take it, and we'll come up with something. You've been around me long enough to know even if we don't know, we'll come up with something.
That's the beauty of what we do.
Rydell always writes 1 or 2 down for me and just hands them to me. And if I can't think of something, I'll use one of Dave's.
Maybe Pope could float something down from the roof if you really needed to. As Carter Miller, he's going to send a short one into the air, far sideline, and falling on top of it. Smart play there by Mehmet Ilupinar, who was able to pounce on that football. And so Keystone will start the second half with this football, unlike the first half where we thought Norwayne would start with the football. Brian Fox going with that surprise onside kick. It was a beauty by Brendan Hagerman that ping-ponged around off some traffic, off a couple of Norwayne Bobcats, and Keystone would eventually fall on it and strike first. So here we go. Third quarter, 16-7 our score. Keystone in front.
And for Norwayne next week, they have their home opener. They'll take on Worcester Triway. So they'll have a non-conference game with the Trojans of Triway coming to town next Friday.
So Colton Cowling to start this third quarter. 3 wide receiver set. Tailback with him with the tight end. And it's a direct snap to McKee. He'll look left side, and he tries to hurdle a man and can't escape, as that's a nice hit by Cameron Hackworth. Talked about him a lot in pregame, Rob. Hadn't really said his name much in that first half. That was a nice play there by Cameron.
Well, I think the first time maybe the last time you mentioned him was when he had the late hit on Cowling
That's
early
right,
on
that
in
was
the first
him,
drive.
yeah.
But now, that's a real good play by him. And again, it continues the momentum. You keep him behind the sticks. It's already 2nd and long for Keystone.
Well, sometimes when you make those personal fouls, you're a little hesitant to be as aggressive.
Sure.
Maybe that gets Hackworth kind of his swagger back. They'll go to Hagerman here on the bubble screen. Hagerman with some blocking in front. It was Gurich paving the way. Hagerman up the sideline with some room to run, and he gets shoved out of bounds across midfield into Norwayne Bobcat territory, down at about the 47-yard line. So a solid pickup there for Brendan Hagerman. Nothing too crazy there, just a simple catch and run. Good blocking downfield by Bobby Gurich. First down for Keystone.
Unofficially about a 23-yard pickup right there, and the Keystone Wildcats needed that big time.
First down for the Wildcats. 4 wide receiver set here for Cowling. 3 to his left, 1 to his right. McKee in motion. They'll float it out to him. McKee with some room to run. Squeaks through one wave and then gets upended across the 45-yard line down near the 40. And they will officially give him the 41. So a pickup of 6 for Wyatt McKee, showing some of that explosiveness there on that play.
Connor Call, the linebacker, we've called his name a few times, and he was there on the stop.
Boy, McKee, I tell you what, it is just a treat to watch that young man tote the football around. I'll tell you. Gurich, the man in motion across the line of scrimmage. They'll turn and give to McKee. McKee with some room to run, breaks through that first wave. He's across the 35 and gets shoestring down inside the 35, near that 34-yard line. So plenty for a Keystone Wildcat first down. Cats are on the move.
Evan Sabine, 5'7" junior, was there to make that stop.
10.5 left to play here in this third quarter. A little bit of tempo here from Keystone as they're working quickly. Cowling in the shotgun, takes it. Low snap, able to grab it easily, though. Cowling floating this one deep downfield. He's got a man. It's Zach Taylor at the 5. Breaks a tackle and brings another defender into the end zone. Touchdown, Keystone. Colton Cowling to Zach Taylor, a 33-yard scoring strike for the Wildcats. And Keystone, boy, not even 2 minutes into this third quarter, they find the end zone. Another 6 points for the Cats. They lead at 22-7.
And a really good pitch and catch there from Cowling with your pregame interview, Taylor. And, the impressive thing of that drive is they overcame that first play, which they lose 6 yards, and they were behind the sticks, and yet they still go down and score.
I'll tell you what, Rob, at Media Day and in our pregame interview, Zach Taylor was just ecstatic about this new offense with Brian Fox. Oh, Rocco, we're throwing the ball. We're throwing the ball all over the yard. We're moving it everywhere. I love this new offense. I love it. All right, Zach, all right. I mean, we'll see what you can do in it, and you can see why the young man loves it right there. 33-yard touchdown catch, and they're going to go for 2, and it's that same look. McKee with 2 in front of him. And he's going to go right this time. They'll change it up, and McKee is in for the 2-point conversion. So he had ran left, he had ran left, he had ran left. Now he goes right, and he's in for 2, but a late flag comes out. And let's see. Some pointing from the officials. No real indication yet. McKee, again, converting on that 2-point attempt. The third one he's punched in tonight. He did have a touchdown that looked the exact same as well. And let's see. Norwayne's walking off, Keystone's walking off celebrating, so all of this will mean that it will count. That's the indication, but let's see. And it's a personal foul against Norwayne, so tack that on the kickoff. And Keystone sitting pretty. 10-13 left to play here in the third. We'll take a timeout. Wildcats 24, Bobcats 7. We're back with more after this.
Mike Bass Ford. Experience the convenience of buying from Mike Bass Ford, just a short drive from anywhere.
I work and fly out of Hopkins every week. It only takes me 27 minutes to get to Mike Bass Ford. I'm downtown, and I'm only 25 minutes from Mike Bass Ford.
I'm in Sandusky, and I'm only 30 minutes away from Mike Bass Ford.
All roads lead to Mike Bass Ford. I-90 at Detroit, exit 148.
You get a great deal and a great deal more at Mike Bass Ford.
Now's the time to start planning your 2027 golf outing at Mallard Creek Golf Club. With 36 beautifully maintained holes, 4 pavilions, stock pro shop, and an expansive driving range, Mallard Creek is the perfect venue for groups of any size. From start to finish, their friendly staff will walk you through every step. And they're a trusted home for charity fundraisers and community events. Dates can book up fast, so call David Venezuela at 440-748-8231 or visit themallardcreek.com to reserve your 2027 outing today.
That touchdown from Colton Cowling to Zach Taylor, and all touchdowns this season on WEOL.com and on the Chronicle Telegram YouTube channel are brought to you by Mike Bass Ford, I-90 at Detroit, exit 148. You get a great deal and a great deal more when you go to Mike Bass Ford. That, of course, will bring us another kickoff brought to you by Eco Tree Services. They are your complete tree care company. Rocco Nushi, Rob Polinsky here with you in LaGrange. Keystone leading Norwayne 24-7. Dave Rydell, Gary Pelter on site with you guys as well.
You know, one thing here now, I know you're up 17, but with that penalty, we've seen one onside kick. Now, I would think Norwayne might expect it here, but this would be a great place if Keystone wants to do an onside kick because your line of scrimmage is the Norwayne 45.
So let's see what Hagerman does as he charges forward, and he will try it again. Hagerman is going to try to box out like Coach Holzhauer has taught him on the hoop floor. And let's see, pouncing on it is Norwayne this time, so that one will not work out for Keystone. But, Rob, to your point, I mean, the downside of it, it's not that bad. I mean, this isn't
36-yard line.
It's good starting field position for Norwayne, right? But it's not unheard of, amazing field position. So
Grady Cotton, 6 foot, 235-pound senior for Norwayne, fell on that onside kick.
And you could see Hagerman, man, he was going for it, the little pooch kick forward. He was boxing out, but Norwayne able to pounce on it. 10-13 left to play here in the third, 24-7 our score. Lance takes the shotgun snap. He'll pitch it wide to Chaz Maxwell. Maxwell trying to power forward for a couple of yards, and he maybe got 1 or 2 there up that far sideline, and he's down after that, and maybe some cramping here as they'll stretch that leg out.
Yeah, we might see some more of this, as this game goes on, I would think.
Well, sometimes that's the downside of halftime with these,
yeah,
late August games. You get the body going, you're going for 24 minutes, and then it all comes to a screeching halt at the half. And we know they're hydrating, and they come back out here and get loose and jog and warm up and all that. But it's tough to kind of get the batteries going again after you cooled them off in the halftime locker room. So I think you're right, Rob. We could see a little bit more of that.
So tomorrow morning, Nick Abraham, Saturday morning sports wrap-up show. You and
Jared Kozar
and the new Diggs from 9 to 11. Tomorrow morning,
yep.
Obviously some winning coaches. What are the plans for tomorrow?
Yeah, we'll have the winning coaches as we typically try to do. I'm sure we'll try to get with Mike Elder following that big Thursday night victory. If Keystone's able to hang on, we'll try to catch up with Brian Fox as well. We'll certainly extend some invitations to some athletes, I think, this season if they'd like to appear on the wrap-up show. I know we had Zach Taylor on in the pregame show. He was certainly more than comfortable getting behind a microphone and talking with me.
Yeah, he was.
So that was awesome to catch up with him. But yes, Nick Abraham Saturday Sports Wrap-Up Show returns tomorrow right here on the CT YouTube channel. Lands under some pressure here. A couple of Wildcats giving chase, and oh my goodness, nearly making that catch, and did he? No, they'll say incomplete. Drew Wenninger, the intended receiver, he just darted right in front of one of those Keystone defensive backs to try to make that catch. He would have picked up a solid gain there. Instead, could not tightrope that sideline. And it's incomplete, brings up 3rd down and 8 to go now for Norwayne. Ball spotted at their own 37.
And now, with it being a 3-score game at 24-7, I think if you're Grizz and Keystone defensively, you're kind of playing one-dimensional now, right? You're expecting Norwayne to throw on almost every down, and that's going to make it all the more difficult for the Bobcats, for Lance, for the sophomore. When your opponent knows that you're basically just going to throw, that just makes it all the more difficult.
Keystone will send 4 here on the blitz. McKee went late, and this one complete out to Leach. Leach trying to break some tackles here across the 40, and he gets hawked down by the Keystone defense. That's Kyle Hurley, the first to catch him from behind, and boy, maybe some more cramping here for Norwayne.
Leach went down, and then now a decision here for Coach Indorf. It's 4th and 4 from his own 42. Got to get just across the 45, maybe 4th and 3.5, but a decision here. I mean, it's 24-7. We're in the 3rd quarter, 9:37 remaining, so you've got a lot of football left, but you've got to be really tempted to go for it here if you're Norwayne, I would think.
Yeah, I would agree. Well, it gets late early, as they say, right?
Right.
And
I mean, the other thing is Keystone's got 24. I don't think they're going to end at 24.
No.
So
I agree.
if you're Norwayne, you probably feel, boy, we really got to get some points here, and how many chances do you get? I would think that they might go for it here.
It's a little different from Keystone teams of past where, they maybe get this lead and you can basically pencil in, what would it be, 21 minutes and 37 seconds of game time. It would be like 22 minutes of real time, right? If Keystone of past had this lead. But you know how Brian Fox likes to roll. We know how he operates. They're not going to just be content with this. I'm sure they're going to keep moving that ball offensively. And for good reason, I would say. It's week 1. You got things to work on. You got things that you're trying to improve upon and get better.
Punt.
And wow, Norwayne is going to punt. I'm surprised. Carter Miller back to punt, unless this is a
I will
fake.
say this. Miller has had a couple of nice punts tonight.
He has.
But still, Wyatt McKee drops back deep.
Let's see if Norwayne does try something here, or if it is just a punt. And it is. Carter Miller puts his right foot into it, end over end punt, and McKee will settle under it. Actually lets it bounce in front, and the Wildcats will scamper away from it. Norwayne downs that one inside the 25-yard line near the 24, and so that is where Keystone will take over at their own 24-yard line. 24-7 our score, 9:19 left to play in this 3rd quarter. We'll keep it here. Rocco Nucci, Rob Polinsky, Dave Rydell, Gary Pelter, all here with you. Again, Rob mentioned it a couple of moments ago. The return of the Nick Abraham Saturday Sports Wrap-Up Show tomorrow from 9 to 11. A lot of different avenues you can watch and listen to that one on. Of course, WEOL.com and that Chronicle Telegram YouTube channel, but also on the WEOL and Chronicle Telegram Facebook pages. So if that's more convenient for tomorrow morning, you can find us on there as well. First play of the drive here for Keystone after the punt. Man in motion was Gurich. They'll turn, they'll give, and this is Caden Cologne. He broke out of one tackle, maybe a face mask there as Cologne's head got twisted and turned a little bit, but evidently not, as there's no flag, and some more cramping here for Norwayne as, boy, trying to get up. He just can't.
Well, I don't know.
And they're going to stretch him out.
Yeah. Chaz Maxwell, he's the young man who made the tackle, and
Is that Maxwell?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he made that tackle, but to me, that looks like it might be more than cramping, the way he's reacting. I don't know.
Potentially.
Let's hope that's all it is.
Well,
but I'm just looking at the way he was kind of writhing
I
around
hear you,
and pounding his fist on the ground. He was reacting like it was more than that.
Well, I'll tell you, a lot of us can get dramatic sometimes with those cramps or when your foot falls asleep or whatever. You're just trying to smack some, sense or life back into it. And I think maybe just frustration there for Maxwell as well, right? You're down 17. Now you're cramping.
And I'll tell you what, this non-conference for Norwayne doesn't get any easier. They host Triway. Then they go to Garraway, who last year was in the state semifinals in Division 6, and they're a small school power down there in Sugar Creek. Once they get in Wayne County League, then it softens up a little bit on paper. They're the heavy hitters for them. They have shared the title with Dalton the last 2 seasons. Coach Indorf told us in the pregame that's his alma mater. Is now we see Maxwell get up. That's a great sign. But in week 7, 8, and 9, back-to-back at Dalton, home to Smithville, at Hillsdale. How good is the Wayne County League? The top of it? Well, Hillsdale the last 3 years has played for the state championship in Division 7. They've lost it. They've never won the Wayne County League. They've played in 3 consecutive state championship games, and they've never won their conference.
Boy, that is unbelievable.
So it tells you what Norwayne and Dalton have done. Norwayne has an 11-game win streak over Hillsdale.
So here's the direct snap to Caden Cologne. Cologne taking it left side, spins away from one tackle, but now he's going backwards, and he gets wrestled down way, way deep in the backfield as Cologne had nowhere to go. Bobcats swarmed on him in a hurry after he broke that first tackle, and he lost a good chunk of yardage there. 3rd and long now for Keystone, deep in their own territory. It's Bobcat defense, I'll tell you, I mean, they gave up the touchdown to start this third quarter, but they're right back to it with locking things down.
And I know they've given up 24 points tonight, but still, I've been pretty impressed by what they've done. The first touchdown, I almost don't blame the defense. You had that surprise onside kick and then the 30-yard play, and all of a sudden they were at their 19 before they knew it.
4 wide receivers set here for Cowling. He'll drop back, he'll fire, and that ball skipped into his receiver's hands. Incomplete. It was Zach Taylor he was looking for on that far sideline. No, I beg your pardon. That's 13, Braden Stanley he was looking for. The result the same, though, incomplete. And Keystone will have to punt this one away. 4th and 17 from their own 17.
Carson Mills was on the coverage, and we are going to see Kyle Hurley kick. Last time he kicked it inside the 1-yard line. A tremendous punt.
And it is Mills who just made that play alongside Drew Wenninger, back deep to return for the Bobcats. Hurley, a clean catch, gets this one away with that left foot. A spiraling kick as Mills able to track this one down at about the 50-yard line. He's now into Wildcat territory, makes a move. Couple of flags get thrown. Mills is still on his feet, bringing defenders with him into Keystone territory, and he is down inside the 35 near the 32, 33-yard line. But let's see, you had 2 flags in the same area, 3 actually out there on the field, so something obvious happening there.
Usually usually it's on the return team.
And let's see, they're talking about it. The 3 officials to our left. 7:56 left to play in this third quarter. Mills on the return as it stands, got back to the 33-yard line. That's where one of the officials has the 2 feet planted. And let's see. We'll collect the laundry and take their time delivering the penalty. Norwayne in the offensive huddle. Keystone defensively is lined up, ready to go. A couple of Cats looking over to the sideline. Pretty much everybody here waiting on what the decision will be. And they'll still talk about it.
and that one will go against Keystone. So holding on Keystone, it's going to tack on yards to the end of that return. Wow, so Norwayne, they'll start this drive just outside that Stewart's TV and Appliance red zone, Rob. They're at about the 22, 23-yard line. 23, they'll say.
You know, and why don't I coach, and why am I sitting up here? Well, lots of reasons, but one, I thought Norwayne on 4th and 3.5 would go for it, and I kind of questioned that. Well, they punted, then they hold Keystone, and then they get a great return and a penalty. Coach Endor knows what he's doing. They're going to start this drive, as you mentioned, almost in the Stewart's TV and Appliance red zone.
Well, for a penalty, I thought was obvious with 3 flags being thrown. The decision-making from the officials following that call has been anything but obvious, as they seem a little unsure of where exactly they've spotted it and the decision that they've made. But we will play some football here now again in the third quarter. Norwayne down 17 with the football, though, in great position. Deep in Keystone territory. The give to Chaz Maxwell. He just lost his footing, and down he goes. Right inside that 25-yard line. He may have lost a yard there as he slipped right near that line of scrimmage. And they'll say no gain. They'll give him the 23 once again. So 2nd down, 10 to go for Norwayne. 7:40 and counting left to play in this third quarter.
You know, Norwayne has scored 3 points. They have started drives at the Keystone 37, the Keystone 31, and now the Keystone 23. And yet, as of right now, they have just 7 points on the board.
Bradley Lands, the sophomore, takes the shotgun snap. Out route here, and that one's incomplete as he was looking for Cade Leach, who he came up kind of grabbing the back of his leg there. Maybe some more cramping, not sure. He'll jog over toward the sideline, although it looks like he's joining Bradley Lands, the quarterback, along with one of those coaches for the play call. Assume that might be offensive coordinator. Well, Jude LaChance they have as the offensive coordinator. Jason Gallion, the DC for Norwayne. So they'll break the huddle. 3rd down, 10 to go for Norwayne. Ball at the 23.
Sorry, Rocco. Got to look at it like they are in 4-down territory here. You don't need all 10 yards here.
Lands takes it, looking left, throwing left, and that's complete. Complete inside the 20. It's Mills, and Mills trying to make a move and eventually gets caught up to by a couple of Wildcats, and they will officially rule him down near the, 16-yard line? Yeah, so a gain of 7 for Carson Mills. And, hey, to your point, Rob, you didn't need all 10 right there if you're Norwayne. They didn't get all 10. They got 7.
I mean, you'd love to have gotten it, but my point was they didn't have to throw a bomb, and they didn't. They went short, tried to see if they get the young man Mills to break some tackles and make a play, but 4th and short.
You can live with 4th and 3 more than you can trying 4th and 10.
For sure.
So Lands with 4 receivers and a back behind him takes the snap. Looking right. Lands pump fakes. Now fires over the middle, and it's way too high for the intended receiver, Carson Mills. That's great coverage on the back end. That was Brandon Hagerman, who was stride for stride with him. And the turnover on downs gives it back to Keystone. We'll sneak in a quick timeout. Our score with 6:31 left to play in the third. Keystone 24, Norwayne 7. Wildcats with the football after that turnover on downs after this timeout.
At Nick Abraham Elyria Ford, we offer great service and a great selection of vehicles. And right now, get 0% financing for 36 months on all new Ford vehicles in stock. At Nick Abraham Elyria Ford, we make it that easy. Stop in or shop us at buyabraham.com.
6:31 left to play here in the third. Norwayne turning it over on downs as Lands' pass to Carson Mills fell incomplete on 4th and 3. So Keystone, with a 3-possession lead, will get it right back at their own 16-yard line. Long field ahead of junior quarterback Colton Cowling. He'll turn, he'll give to Wyatt McKee, and he tries to wiggle through a couple of defenders there, unable to do so as that Norwayne defense rallied to him in a hurry. A couple of gray helmets in on that stop. Very short gain there for Wyatt.
And we've talked about Cowling, talked about how they like to throw it all around. Well, 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. They're up 24-7. Here's where Keystone needs their running game, in my opinion. Here's where you need to take a little time off the clock, where you don't need to take chances, maybe turn the ball over. Here's where you want to have that strong running game that you can count on to put teams away.
McKee actually didn't gain anything there. I beg your pardon. He lost 2. 2nd and 12, they'll say, from the 14.
They'll fake the give to McKee over the middle to Gurich, and oh boy, he had a lot of room to run if he could have broken out of that tackle, but they'll take the first down catch from Bobby Gurich. A nice reception from him over the middle, caught that one in a little bit of traffic, and a pickup of about 13 there, and a first down for Keystone, and the Wildcats are on the move at their own 31 now.
Well, that's where the play action right there really was good for Keystone. That play action, you fake the handoff to McKee. The defense has to, they have to honor that. They have to look at run first and Wyatt McKee first. And, when you fake it to him and then you got a big target like Gurich going over the middle, and that was well designed.
It almost looks like one of those RPOs, Rob, where the run-pass option, right, where you could maybe give it to McKee. Cowling pulling that one, though, and ending up throwing it. He gives this one to McKee, though. McKee bounces it left side. McKee hurdles a man, and he's finally upended right after that across the 35-yard line, and a couple of late flags are thrown. And if that follows the trend that has been set already here tonight, that would be another holding against Keystone. And the way the Wildcats offense is moving, it's probably going to be the call. Let's see, though. Officials will gather. 3 of them out there, 4 now. And, a personal foul, I think they just said, against Keystone.
Yep.
So, that is a personal foul in the high school level. News to me on that front, Rob.
Did he land on him?
I don't think so.
I have no idea. I don't know all the rules, but yeah, I wouldn't think that would. Who knows? I don't know.
Where's Todd Shapiro at when we need him? He would maybe know these things. Man, all right, so a personal foul.
We'll have to look into that.
Wow, 1st and 29 now for Keystone at their own 17-yard line. Yeah, I beg our viewers' pardon on that. I had no idea that was a rule now at the high school level. McKee looking to bounce this one outside, and he can't. And he maybe got a short gain there, about a yard. They got him close to the 20, so he picked up a couple, I think.
He was ridden out of bounds by Carter Miller. The other problem with that is he goes out of bounds. If you're Keystone, You're trying to run time off this clock. You're down to under 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Pretty slow-moving game.
Tell you what, Carter Miller has been in Iron Man here tonight for Norwayne, doing a little bit of everything, playing both sides. He does the special teams work as well.
Shorman get on the board for the first time. It's 24/7 Strongsville. That game is on WEOL.com. Stream number 2, 3.5 minutes to go, second quarter.
Cowling faking that handoff. Flush to his right now, wheels back left. He's going to cock back and throw this one deep, and it's a duck, and it's intercepted. Oh, boy, poor decision there from Colton Cowling as he threw up a bit of a Hail Mary there, and that is intercepted by the Norwayne defense. As who came down with that for Norwayne?
I wasn't able to see that.
Yeah, I couldn't tell over there on that far sideline who ended up picking that one off, so apologies to the Bobcat faithful there, but an interception by Norwayne. Colton Cowling, an ill-advised throw downfield, turns the football over, and that's one where I think in that film room, Brian Fox is going to say, easy, young man, we got to lead, we got to work some clock, even if we got to just kind of take our loss on this possession, work some clock, punt it away, trust the defense. Now the defense is back out there in their own territory again as Norwayne starts this drive at the Wildcat 45. And we're going to get, a timeout called by Keystone. So Brian Fox will call for timeout. We'll call for one as well. 4:27 left to play in this third quarter. Norwayne with the football. They trail Keystone 24-7. We're right back after this.
At Nick Abraham Buick GMC, we make it that easy with more value, more choices, and less hassle. Right now, lease a 2026 GMC Sierra for just $199 a month, or buy the Buick Envista for just $23,350. Stop in or shop us at buyabraham.com.
Now's the time to start planning your 2027 golf outing at Mallard Creek Golf Club. With 36 beautifully maintained holes, 4 pavilions, stock pro shop, and an expansive driving range, Mallard Creek is the perfect venue for groups of any size. From start to finish, their friendly staff will walk you through every step. And they're a trusted home for charity fundraisers and community events. Dates can book up fast, so call David Venezuela at 440-748-8231 or visit themallardcreek.com to reserve your 2027 outing today.
After the timeout, Norwayne with the football, trailing 24-7 here in LaGrange to Keystone. As Bradley Lands takes the snap, he'll actually fake the give to Maxwell, fires this one downfield, and it's over top of the intended receiver, in and out of the hands of Drew Wenninger, the junior. He stands 6'1", Maybe needed to be about 6'6" to bring that one in, as that one falls incomplete. 2nd down and 10 now for the Bobcats.
John Falte with the pressure there. I don't think the Wildcats have a sack tonight, but they've put enough pressure occasionally on Bradley Lands that they've made this young man, I think, sometimes throw before he wants to, and they've disrupted the timing of the passing game. Even though they don't have a sack per se, the pressure has been just enough to disrupt it.
Yeah, haven't seen too many clean pockets for Bradley Lands tonight. He'll pitch this one out to Chaz Maxwell, and Maxwell maybe lost a yard there. He's going to try to crawl forward afterwards for a couple of yards, but to no avail. Okay, here we go. Dave Rydell, under OHSAA football rules, which follow the National Federation of State High School Associations guidelines, hurdling an opponent is illegal and results in a 15-yard personal foul penalty. Huh. Well, son of a gun. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate that.
Well, then why tackle anybody? Just lay down in front of the running back.
What? It's a bold strategy, Rob. You talked about why you aren't coaching earlier. Right? You could file that one. We just lay down on defense, boys.
See if they'll jump over you.
This one's floated out to the receiver. That's Wenninger on the catch, and he's out past the 40-yard line, wrestled down near the 39, 38-yard line, and it will be shy of the first down marker. They needed the 35, did Norwayne.
Wenninger's kind of gimping back. I mean, I'm sorry, Cade
Leach.
Yeah, Leach kind of gimping around. I don't know if he's going to have to come out or not.
That's my bad on that one. That was Leach who made the reception, not Wenninger. I'll tell you, the 8 and the 9, those are always.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're always on the field together, they've both been pretty heavily involved, but hey.
Now they're 4th and short here for Norwayne. They need to convert this one to try to get back into this football game if you're a Bobcat fan.
Huge play here. 4th and 3 for Norwayne at the Keystone 38. In the pistol is Maxwell, and a whistle before that football is even snapped. And they're going to point on the defense.
Yep, they gave offsides. That gives them an automatic first down. That'll drive Brian Fox crazy.
And I think that's Jack Bolton who they got.
Might have changed the cadence there a little bit.
I think it was Bolton who jumped. You can see 14, Dimitri Ruby, encouraging him, saying, yeah, that's all right. Let's get it back now. So, silly penalty there for Keystone. Will gift Norwayne a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 now for the Bobcats. Inside that Keystone 35. They'll say the 33 officially. Pistol set here for Norwayne. The give is to Maxwell. He'll charge right side. Maxwell powering forward as a flag is thrown. And Maxwell is wrestled down near the 25-yard line. Let's see, though.
You're going to have holding on Norwayne, I think, the way this has been thrown. Yep.
So a lot of holding calls here tonight. Methinks, Rob, that there's a combination of this crew maybe having that one at the top of their priority list in terms of, hey, we're going to be on this tonight. And also, it's week 1, and you're going to see some of that from some of these teams. Maybe some of those techniques and fundamentals that you work on over the summer, you got to try to tweak and adjust a little bit in the upcoming week of practice. All things that Brian Fox and his coaching staff will digest in the film room tomorrow, along with Adam Indorf and his Norwayne Bobcats. 1st and 20 for Norwayne at the Keystone 43. 3 minutes and counting left to play in this third quarter. Maxwell the snap. Bradley Lands the snap. He fires this one out to Wenninger. It's complete across the 30-yard line. And inside that 30 down to the 29 is Wenninger. So a nice pickup of about 14 yards there.
Yeah, that's a big play because on 1st and 20, now what they've done is they've given themselves a makeable first down. It's 2nd and 6, so you've got 3 downs to try to get 6 yards, where 1st and 20, it looked like it was really tough. Huge 14-yard play right there for the Bobcats.
2:30 left to play in this third quarter. Pistol set here again for Norwayne, 4 receivers. Lands floats this one out wide. It's cut by Carter Miller. Miller charging forward up that far sideline. He's got the first down and more inside the 15-yard line of Keystone. And they'll mark him right at the 15-yard line, so plenty for a first down for Norwayne and more. Bobcats on the move, and they are inside that Stewart's TV and Appliance red zone. Stewart's TV and Appliance on Cleveland Street in Elyria. To your point, Rob, a place that they haven't been much tonight. The score came from beyond the red zone, and they've started with really good field position. Again, to your point earlier, they just haven't been able to finish. Let's see if Coach Indorf's offense can punch this one in. Lance takes the snap. It's to Maxwell, and he gets wrestled down immediately as flying in there was John Falte. Called his name a little more and more here tonight. A 1-yard loss there for the Bobcats. 2nd and 11 now.
Keystone bringing in some fresh troops here coming in. They got Luke DeVore also coming back in as Kyle Hurley as they rotate those defensive linemen. You're seeing more of that happening in high school football. They realize to keep pressure up front, to get that push up front. If you can rotate some extra defensive linemen, it really helps.
I enjoy Brian Fox's descriptions of Luke DeVore in the media interviews that I've heard him. It's basically the same answer every time. Oh, he's an animal. He's a huge kid. He's a monster. He's going to kill somebody out there. Here's Lands in the shotgun under pressure. Got rid of it in time, and it's caught inside the 5, and scampering in for the touchdown is Carter Miller. The Bobcats strike from 15 yards out. They punch this one in, and hold on. 24-13 our score. Norwayne fires back here late in the third quarter with 1:28 left to play in this third as Bradley Lands found Carter Miller, the sophomore to senior connection. 6 more points for the Bobcats.
And that's the second touchdown pass for Lands in today's football game and the second to Miller.
Those two have certainly been in sync tonight. Again, Carter Miller has been everywhere, including lining up to kick this extra point. Snap is high, hold is down, kick is up, and it is good. So, with 1:28 left to go, following that Mike Bass Ford touchdown for the Norwayne Bobcats, our score, Keystone 24, Norwayne 14. It's a 10-point game. We're right back with the rest of the third quarter after this.
At Nick Abraham Elyria Ford, we offer great service and a great selection of vehicles. And right now, get 0% financing for 36 months on all new Ford vehicles in stock. At Nick Abraham Elyria Ford, we make it that easy. Stop in or shop us at buyabraham.com. At Nick Abraham Buick GMC, we make it that easy with more value, more choices, and less hassle. Right now, lease a 2026 GMC Sierra for just $199 a month, or buy the Buick Envista for just $23,350. Stop in or shop us at buyabraham.com.
Hi, Tim Elkhorn, radio voice of the Cavs. For several years, you've heard me talk about EcoTree Services on WEOL. Recently, I needed trees removed, so of course, I contacted EcoTree. They did an incredible job. The folks at EcoTree were timely, efficient, and the work was flawless. Take it from me. When your trees need attention or even require removal, contact EcoTree Services. Like me, you'll love their work. Find EcoTree Services online at ecotreeservices.com.
Score update from Ron Yance over in Shoreman Country. Avon Lake climbing back into it, it seems, trailing Strongsville 24-16 was the last we heard with 1:02 left in the third quarter. So that's our latest score from there. I know last we knew from Medina Highland, the Hornets were trailing Walsh Jesuit 17-0. We'll see if we can check back in on that one. This kickoff brought to you by EcoTree Services. It was a squib kick by Carter Miller. On the return here is Braden Stanley, and Stanley is going to get tripped up just past the 35-yard line, shy of the 40. And they will give him the 37-38-yard line. So that's where Keystone will start this possession. Dave Rydell's got the phone out, and oh boy, has it gotten away from the Hornets down there in Medina Highland. Rob, I don't know how many saw this coming. 34-0. Walsh Jesuit leads Medina Highland on our Medina County matchup on that Chronicle Telegram YouTube channel.
And who knows, it may not be the only time they play this year.
Right.
I mean, you never know. I mean, the Highland is an excellent football team, and they'll learn after tonight, and we'll see what happens. But, that's the Hornets don't get beat like that.
No,
it's
at home of all. I mean, wow.
Yeah.
Impressive by Walsh in that one, no question. Back in LaGrange, 1:22 left to play in the third. Wyatt McKee's going to take the direct snap, and he's just going to punch forward and fall. I mean, literally fall over top of the 40-yard line. He's going to pick up 4 yards there, so maybe Brian Fox changing up what he wants to do offensively a bit here to try to work some more clock and shorten this game a little bit. And ultimately, I think that could be the right decision. I don't think you want to get too far away from what you like to do and do that exclusively, but I think it would be wise to maybe shorten this game a little bit. Norway, and they've proven they can punch back a little bit. You don't want to give them too many chances.
Cowling has thrown 2 interceptions, and also you've had a lot of holding calls, most of them on pass plays.
Right. Yeah, perhaps that last interception a big factor as to why Wyatt McKee right now is lined up in that Wildcat formation.
He'll take the direct snap. He'll follow behind Zach Taylor, who throws a great block, and there goes McKee. McKee across the 40. One defender giving chase. Can he catch him? McKee to the 10. Defender falls down. Touchdown, Keystone.
And then there's that.
Wyatt McKee, 59 yards to pay dirt. He just squeaked through that line of scrimmage, Rob. One defender giving chase. He couldn't catch up to him. Few can to Wyatt McKee, as we know well here in Lorain County. And Wyatt McKee extends that lead for the Wildcats, 30-14 Keystone.
Every time he touches the ball, the defensive coordinator, his heart skips a beat because he knows he could go at any time. And right there, Wyatt McKee shows his speed. He had a touchdown, a long touchdown earlier, called back on a holding call. That one's not going to get called back. And, boy, that really is a big blow to Norwayne because the Bobcats had just gotten back into this game down 10, and now in 2 plays they find themselves back down 30-14.
Wyatt McKee's second touchdown run of the night. It's Caden Cologne now in the Wildcat to try to get this 2-point conversion, and he's stymied. So Caden Cologne unable to get in, and that's big, Rob, because that keeps it a 2-possession game now. It's a 16-point game as opposed to, a 17-point game if you took the 1 or 18 if you were to convert that 2. So it is a 2-possession game, but a 59-yard touchdown scamper from Wyatt McKee puts Keystone out in front of Norwayne 30-14. We'll be right back after this.
Industries are changing quickly, and this means new high-paying jobs are showing up every day. Employers are ready to hire now. The best part? Lorain County Community College offers free fast-track programs designed to get you working in 16 weeks or less. You will learn the skills, get hired, and finally find a job you love in healthcare, advanced manufacturing, trades, business, information technology. Don't wait. Enroll today.
Experience the convenience of buying from Mike Bass Ford, just a short drive from anywhere.
I work and fly out of Hopkins every week. It only takes me 27 minutes to get to Mike Bass Ford. I'm downtown and I'm only 25 minutes from Mike Bass Ford.
I'm in Sandusky and I'm only 30 minutes away from Mike Bass Ford.
All roads lead to Mike Bass Ford. I-90 at Detroit, exit 148.
You get a great deal and a great deal more at Mike Bass Ford.
I'll tell you, another score update from Ron Yance from Avon Lake. What is happening out there? 24-22. Avon Lake, I think they've scored 3 or 4 times late in that third quarter. I'm unsure based on the text that I'm getting from Ron, but 24-22. Strongsville clinging to a 2-point lead at the end of that third quarter. So Matt Kostelnik and those Shoremen trying to get things turned around. That Wyatt McKee touchdown run brought to you by Mike Bass Ford. You get a great deal and a great deal more at Mike Bass Ford. And here is another Eco Tree Services kickoff. Hagerman end over end kick, a short one to the 20-yard line, fielded by Norwayne there. Return man up across the 30, near the 35, and he is corralled down there by a host of black jerseys. And on that return for the Norwayne Bobcats was Nick Linden. Or no, I'm sorry, wrong number 12. Nick Linden's 12 for Keystone. That's Chaz Maxwell. Certainly called his name enough tonight. Chaz Maxwell on the return there for Norwayne. And so with 18 seconds left in the third, maybe another snap or 2, depending on how that clock works out. Well, I'll tell you, Wyatt McKee, Rob, for as fast as he is so big and strong, too. Otherwise, you can't get through that first line of defense like he did. I mean, he got lost amongst the traffic there. Yep. And all of a sudden, he just emerges from that pile, and he's off like a bullet into the distance. What a run by Wyatt McKee. 59 yards to give Keystone a 16-point lead. Lands the fake to Maxwell, rolling right, fires this one downfield, and he shortchanges his receiver there as that one skipped in, and we got a flag late on that one in the backfield. And that's, as we've seen plenty tonight.
One more comment on the McKee run. You know, when they lined up tight like that, they didn't have a wide receiver in that formation. They lined up tight, holding on Norwayne. What it did was, now Norwayne's defense, you got 11 guys in the box. Once McKee broke it,
there's nobody left, yeah.
Nobody, so by design, Norwayne has to make the tackle at the point of attack there, or else you're not going to get. You don't get a second chance with Wyatt McKee.
I'm sure that will not be a very enjoyable clip during film session tomorrow morning for a couple of those interior defensive linemen for Norwayne. But, hey, give the big fellas up front some credit there for Keystone. You know, Wyatt McKee's not running out there 1-on-11. He's got 5 guys ahead of him blocking. The wide receivers out there as well. I know Zach Taylor has thrown some really great blocks. Zach Taylor, 5'9", $175. So when you get blocking from guys like that, that'll go a long way. 1st and 20 here for Norwayne. 13 seconds left to play in this third quarter. Lands the sophomore on the roll to his right. Fires this one out to his receiver. That one is caught, and nearing that original line of scrimmage was Carter Miller. And Miller is up near the 34-yard line. That's where they shoved him out of bounds. So a pickup of about 8 there for Miller. With 6 seconds left to play now in this third quarter.
Coach Evans, our friend at WEOL color analyst, he's spending a lot of time on that patio this weekend. He's left the EC game, and he's back at the friendly confines of the Evans Manor in North Ridgeville, enjoying this on the back patio.
Fantastic. Shout out our guy Tommy. On the mend right now, but working his way back. As on the move here is Lance. Dangerous ball, and oh my goodness, it's caught. Wenninger somehow soared for that football and brought it down, and he's near the first down, and they're going to give it to him. Wow, what a play for Drew Wenninger. They needed 12. He got 12 and a half, 13 yards.
And he also boxed out Bobby Gurich so that Gurich couldn't make the defensive play.
Wow, incredible catch there by Wenninger. So we have played 3 here from LaGrange. Our score after 3, it's Keystone 30, Norwayne 14. Wildcats trying to hold on for a Week 1 victory under first-year head coach Brian Fox. Can they do it? We'll be back after this.
Hi, Tim Elford, radio voice of the Cavs. For several years, you've heard me talk about EcoTree Services. Recently, I needed trees removed, so of course, I contacted EcoTree. They did an incredible job. The folks at EcoTree were timely, efficient, and the work was flawless. Take it from me. When your trees need attention or even require removal, contact EcoTree Services. Like me, you'll love their work. Find EcoTree Services online at ecotreeservices.com.
Looking to buy, sell, or refinance? Make sure your investment is protected with Network Land Title Agency. As a locally owned title and escrow company, Network Land Title helps safeguard you from financial loss caused by defects in a property title, giving you peace of mind every step of the way. With services available across all 88 counties in Ohio, their experienced team is ready to help wherever you are. Visit networklandtitle.com today. Network Land Title Agency, safeguarding your investment, ensuring peace of mind.
12 minutes to decide a winner here in LaGrange. Keystone right now in front by 2 scores. They lead it by 16 over Norwayne, 30-14. Bobcats with the football, though, at their own 47-yard line. Bradley Lands, the sophomore, takes the snap. He'll give to Chaz Maxwell. Maxwell right into the teeth of that Keystone defense. And he is near the first down marker into Wildcat territory at the 43-yard line, and he's got it. First down for the Bobcats, and they're going to go no huddle here.
Love the call. You know, they expect him to throw every time when you're down 16 in the fourth quarter. But as you mentioned, the 2-possession game, they keep it on the ground and get a big gain.
Lands the catch, or the throw rather, and that one is caught by Cade Leach. Leach gets shoved from behind and falls forward for a couple of more yards near that Keystone 35-yard line. So a pickup of 8 for Cade Leach. I'll tell you what, him and Drew Wenninger have done a really nice job at the receiver spot for Norwayne here tonight. You said at the half, Rob, that you would like to see a little more Braylon Arnold. Keystone, I think, has done a nice job of taking him away, but it's been Leach, it's been Wenninger, it's been Carter Miller, Chaz Maxwell. They've all stepped up to really help out.
First drive for Norwayne that started in their own territory out of the last 3 times they've had the ball. 2nd and 2 as Lands gives this one to Maxwell. He finds a crease. Maxwell squeaks through for some big yards, and he's a little deeper into Keystone territory, out over the 25-yard line, inside of it near the 24. So a pickup of about 11 there for Chaz Maxwell. Maybe surprising him with these runs here right up the middle.
Well, and these aren't, I mean, you would take a 10-yard pass completion, so he'll take it on the ground as well. Braylon Arnold tried to scoop that one off of the grass, but unable to do so. The officials on top of it.
I think he made the catch, but I think his knee was down.
Oh, is that what they're saying? Okay.
Not that it really matters because it was no gain, but
yeah,
I think technically I do think that's a pass completion.
Well, they may actually, they're going to take away a yard or 2.
They won't talk about it.
Press box says 2nd and 12. Officials might have something otherwise,
If it's the catch and his knee's down, then the clock continues to run. If it's incomplete, you stop the clock. So it is an important call.
And
They will say it was complete, so a loss of 2. And now they will roll the clock. Wow. 2nd and 12 now for Norwayne at the Keystone 25. Bradley Lance takes the snap, and a whistle will blow this one dead before it even starts. A illegal procedure goes against the Bobcats, so back them up 5 yards. 2nd and 12 becomes 2nd and 17 now, as they'll march this one back to the Keystone 30. Actually, the 31 is where they will mark it.
We have a final. It was Walsh Jesuit blanking Highland by a score of 34-0. Wow. So Walsh Jesuit Warriors flexing their muscles in week 1.
I'll tell you what, Avon got them pretty good in the postseason last year in his final. That I thought was a little surprising. And if I'm not mistaken, Walsh took the opening kick back to the house in that one, and it was all Avon after that. So I'm sure that Walsh team is looking for something to prove this year, and a nice start for them over Medina Highland. Wow. 2nd and 18 here. Lands the throw. That one is caught. It's Miller, and Miller, not much room to work with after that as Keystone rallied to him in a hurry. Wyatt McKee amongst others there to greet him. A couple of other black jerseys in there. 45, John Falte. At 59, I see as well, Luke DeVore. Some more guys we've called throughout the night.
You know, and for Highland, yes, they're in a new part of that conference this year. It's going to get stronger. They're going to have Wadsworth. They're going to have Medina. But in the past, they've had a hard time getting non-conference games because as good as they are, their half of the league last year, in the last few years, hasn't been very good. So my point being, they haven't seen a school like Walsh Jesuit on their schedule very often. And for them to have them in week 1, tough for the Hornets.
Yeah, give you some things to work on, that's for sure. Plenty of season ahead for Coach Gibbons and those Hornets. Dangerous throw there on the far sideline for Bradley Lands. He was looking for, I think that's Leach out there. Now it's Wenninger. And so for Wenninger, that one falls incomplete. 4th and 15 now for Norwayne at the Keystone 28-yard line. And with 9:24 left to go, you start to think, how many more possessions does Norwayne have? They're down 2 scores as it stands right now. And boy, if you can't pick this up, and obviously that's much easier said than done on 4th and 15, that really puts you in a bind, and the defense has to start making stops in a hurry at that point. So let's see. 4th and 15.
You toss it up downfield. Hopefully either your guy makes a play or maybe you get a pass interference penalty.
3 receivers to Lands' right, 1 to his left, tailback beside him. Lands drops back, still looking, fires across the middle. It's caught, and maybe the first down and more. Yes, into Wildcat territory. Is he in? Yes, touchdown, Norwayne.
And it's your man again, Carter Miller, with his 3rd touchdown catch. And Keystone that time got caught between trying to bat the ball down or make an interception or whatever. And they just let Miller make the catch, and then they don't tackle him, and he goes in for a score. So, boy, a huge play for the Bobcats right there.
Yeah, I'm looking just to see if he has yards for the first down on the catch. And Carter Miller, he says, forget that, Rocco Nucci. I'm motoring myself into the end zone. And he does just that. And how about this? Rob, they're going to go for the extra point here, is Norwayne. They're down 10. You got a chance to make this a 8-point game. They're going to kick the extra point, and it is up and good. So, with 9:12 left to play, hey, Coach Endorf, he's been doing this longer than I've been calling games, so far be it from me to criticize, but that's a head-scratcher to me, Rob, and I know you're giving me a similar look. 30-21 our score. It's a 9-point game with 9:12 left to go. That touchdown, of course, brought to you by our friends at Mike Bass Ford. Let's sneak in a quick timeout if we can, Dave Rydell. We'll be right back after this.
Enjoy bigger
How many yards was that?
28. During the Labor Day sale at Stewart's TV and Appliance. Save thousands when you bundle eligible name brand appliances.
That's unusual, right?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
GE profile washers and dryers.
First quarter, okay. Now,
plus, we offer 0% financing and free
even
local
third
delivery.
quarter if there was 9 to
We're
okay,
rewarding you for all your hard work with great deals during the Labor Day sale at
he
Stewart's
must not be a
TV
math
and
teacher.
Appliance. When you shop Stewart's, it's all about you.
Hey, Adam.
Experience the convenience of buying from Mike Bass Ford, just a short drive from anywhere.
I work and fly out of Hopkins every week. It only takes me 27 minutes to get to Mike Bass Ford. I'm downtown, and I'm only 25 minutes from Mike Bass Ford.
I'm in Sandusky, and I'm only 30 minutes away from Mike Bass Ford.
All roads lead to Mike Bass Ford. I-90 at Detroit, exit 148.
You get a great deal and a great deal more at Mike Bass Ford.
Touchdowns all season on WEOL, brought to you by Mike Bass Ford. You get a great deal and a great deal more. Mike Bass Ford. And another kickoff brought to you by our friends at Eco Tree Services, your trusted and complete tree care company. So Norwayne set to kick this off. Carter Miller, a little squib kick end over end, fielded by Keystone at their own 40-yard line, and the return man down past the 40. Between that and the 45, they'll give him about the 43. So after that 28-yard touchdown pass, Rob, from Bradley Lands to Carter Miller, beg your pardon, we both kind of looked at each other on that decision to kick the extra point. You had a chance to maybe make this a one-possession game if you can convert the two. And that whole time out, I was trying to think of reasons, justifications. Hey, could you go for 3 field goals? No, you haven't even seen one. So why would that really make sense? It's interesting.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me, but Coach knows his team. But, again, just doing the math, you would think when you're down 10, you go for 2, you make it an 8-pointer, and it's a one-possession game. Now you're down 2 possessions. There's over 9 minutes to play. We'll see what happens. One thing I know in the kicking game, whether it be punt or kickoff tonight, Norwayne has done a real good job of not letting Wyatt McKee factor in. He has not had a return. They have played keep away from him. The downside of that is those squib kicks, Keystone starting across their own 40, and they're going to have a timeout here before the first play. Coach Fox didn't like something out there.
Yeah, he was kind of scrambling around there for about 10 seconds. There was some miscommunication clearly between him and either who he sent with the play call onto the field. I'm not really sure. Either way, a timeout called by head coach Brian Fox. We can keep it right here as we can talk about plenty of things, including the return of the Nick Abraham Saturday Sports Wrap-Up Show tomorrow. It'll be myself and Jared Kozar will mosey on over to the Chronicle Telegram studios in the morning. Get you ready for our 2-hour show from 9 to 11. We'll talk with the winning coaches from around the area tonight, recap tonight's action. We'll recap Thursday night's action as well. Avon starting this season with a bang. Downtown Cleveland at Browns Stadium. They knock off St. Ignatius 22-21. And boy, they needed every play they got to pull that one out, Rob. They were facing a 4th and 8 in their own territory on that game-winning scoring drive. Trevor Sikora found Jackson Palmer on a deep crossing route that was maybe inches away from being tipped incomplete by Ignatius. Instead, they get the conversion. Colburn ends up punching it in from about 2 yards away, and then Jackson Palmer again on the 2-point conversion. And a nice ball from Trevor Sikora. He had a couple of nice ones. Had some mistakes last night that I'm sure he'll learn from. But, wow, what a game last night by Avon. So we'll try to talk to Mike Elder tomorrow, amongst other winning coaches, on that Nick Abraham Saturday Sports Wrap-Up Show. I know it's you and I next Saturday on that. So certainly looking forward to resuming that this season.
Rocco, the last 3 drives for these two teams combined, 3 touchdowns.
Wow. Scoring has picked up, to say the least, as they'll go to the reverse here, and it is blown up in the backfield. Norwayne was all over that, and that's number 2, Cameron Hackworth. Boy, he's made a couple of nice plays here in this second half after that big mistake in the first half on the personal foul. There was nothing on that reverse play. They lose 10.
At least. And Hagerman was on the receiving end of that. Nowhere for him to go. So they try to trick him a little bit there, and they're going to start behind the sticks because of that. 3 consecutive touchdowns for the two teams. And the reason I bring that up was because before that, in the combined 8 drives for the two teams before that, they had 1 touchdown.
They've had an answer for one another every time, it seems. It's been an interesting game in that regard. Cowling under heavy pressure, rolling, and fires this one away out of bounds. So a nice play there for Norwayne defensively. You don't give up any yards, you stop the clock, and it's been, less than 30 seconds this drive, and now you got Keystone in the 3rd and 20.
And because of that big stop on first down, now you put Keystone in throwing situations. If it's incomplete, you're going to have stoppages of the clock. It's going to lengthen this game. That first down reverse play that lost 10-plus yards could end up being really big.
So let's see what Keystone elects to do here on 3rd and 20. You wouldn't think that they'll try a deep ball or anything crazy to go for converting this here, but let's see. With 8:18 left to play, Keystone in their own territory. They'll throw the bubble screen out to Wyatt McKee, usually a good guy to get it to. Breaks 1 tackle, squeaking through some more, carrying defenders with him near midfield, and he got pretty close to that first down marker. He's not going to have it as it's past the 50. He got tackled shy of the 50 at his own 48. It actually sits at the Norwayne 48, so he's about 4 yards short.
Don't be surprised if Keystone elects to go for this, just knowing Brian Fox a little bit. Wanted to put this game away. 4th and 4 from their own 48. I think he's going to be tempted to go for it. I think the play you want to do is punt because you're up 2 possessions. But knowing Brian Fox just a little bit, him itching to be back to being a head coach, I think he's going to be tempted to go for this.
Well, and is it one of those, Rob, where maybe because you're up 2 possessions, you think to yourself, okay, even if we can't put the game away here, we're going to get it back again, right, barring an onside kick, and you could put it away maybe on that possession. So that's exactly what Brian Fox will do. He'll leave the offense out there. 4 receivers and a flag. Blows
Delay
this one
game.
dead, and it is a delay of game.
They
Good
took
catch,
an
Rob.
awful lot of time talking that over, and now
Now they're
make
gonna
the
punt.
call. Yeah, now they'll punt. They took an awful lot of time making that decision, and obviously they took too much time for the delay game.
Brian Fox talking with some of his coaching staff over there, maybe trying to figure that out, but nonetheless, Keystone will punt this one away, and all things considered, that really, we got a bad cramp over there on the far side of the field. A Bobcat down trying to stretch his own leg out, and the trainers will come sprinting onto the field to help him out and get him hydrated. So while they tend to him, we'll step aside for a quick timeout. 4th and 9 for Keystone. They were set to punt that away before the whistle was blown. Let's see if that's the case afterwards. But again, 7:17 left to play in this ball game. It's Keystone 30, Norwayne 21. We're back after this.
Industries are changing quickly, and this means new high-paying jobs are showing up every day. Employers are ready to hire now. The best part? Lorain County Community College offers free fast-track programs designed to get you working in 16 weeks or less. You will learn the skills, get hired, and finally find a job you love. In healthcare, advanced manufacturing, trades, business, information technology. Don't wait. Enroll today.
So Cameron Hackworth was the cramping Bobcat as he is helped to his feet and is able to walk off under his own power. And so Keystone will keep the punting unit on the field. Kyle Hurley set to boot this one away. And it is, I believe that's Wenninger and Carson Mills back deep to return for Norwayne. Snap to Hurley, a low one. He's able to corral it, gets it away with that left foot, end over end, angling toward the near sideline. Mills underneath it, sheds one tackle, trying to put the skates on a couple of defenders, and eventually runs in a bit of a circle and out of bounds just past that 20-yard line. So a nice punt by Kyle Hurley to make Norwayne drive a reasonably long field now.
Well, and that's the key because you're down 2 scores instead of 1. Time becomes a factor, down to about 7:10 to go in this game or so. And Keystone, to this point, Norwayne doesn't seem to be a team that has like big play capabilities. They need time to drive the ball. So the point being, they've got to hustle in and out of the huddles. They've got to really put an emphasis on this time that's becoming a factor.
4 wide receivers set here for sophomore quarterback Bradley Lands. He'll take it. He'll roll to his left. Lands under some pressure. Fires this one out to his tailback. He's got it. That complete. And, boy, a short gain there for Carson Mills as he gets thrown down to the ground almost immediately by the Keystone defense. They've been pretty sure-handed with their tackles tonight, Keystone, I think. You really haven't seen too many Bobcats escape and elude tacklers from the guys in black.
Yeah, especially when it's on those passes, right? There, the term they like to say is yak. Well, we haven't seen a lot of yak tonight for Norwayne because of that good tackling that the Keystone defense has made.
2nd and 8 now for the Bobcats. Land rather under pressure. Ball's tipped and nearly intercepted as getting a paw on that one was Jack Bolton at 6'2", 210 pounds. He nearly tipped that one, and he could have maybe rumbled all the way back home for a touchdown, but instead it falls incomplete.
And I think if Bolton was 6'3", he does get an interception.
Yeah,
It's
right.
that close. DeVore is dealing with cramps over there on the sidelines. He came hustling off the field. They got him stretched out.
Yep.
And he's going to get some water and then probably find his helmet and try to get back out there.
He's chewing on something, too, as he struts across the sideline here. 3rd and 8 for Norwayne at their own 26-yard line. 2 receivers split way out to the right, one in a slot, 1 split left. Flag thrown immediately as that ball, a dangerous one, too high for Carter Miller. He threw it into double coverage, did Bradley Lands. And it is against
Norwayne. Perhaps illegal formation is Don Griswold, the defensive coordinator. Says, no, sir, we will decline that penalty. Illegal motion is actually the call. And the Keystone bench will hold those fists up, signifying 4th down. And with 6:18 to go, got to have it.
Yeah, with 6:18 to go, and because it's a 2-possession game, I know this isn't ideal for Norwayne, but I don't think they have a choice. I think they're going to have to go for this.
Right. And again, I go back to them just kicking the extra point. If you get that, you could consider punting here because that's still plenty of time to get a stop, and you can play the field position game still. But, yeah, now down 2 scores, possessions at a premium, you certainly got to go. 4th and 8 for Norwayne at their own 26-yard line. What does head coach Adam Indorf and the staff have drawn up here? Offensive coordinator Jude LaChance. Lands will fire deep down the field. It's caught in room to rumble now for Leach. Leach across the middle of the field into Wildcat territory, down across the 35-yard line near that 32. And a huge gain there. Bradley Lands finding Cade Leach.
And
I'll
it
tell you
happened
what.
because Dimitri Ruby, the safety, fell down in coverage. He fell down, and that left Leach wide open as he gets the first down play. It looks like we've got another player that's down. As players are really starting to drop here with these cramping issues here late in this game.
So we can step aside and take another quick timeout, but wow, what a huge catch and run there from Cade Leach to keep this drive alive and potentially the game alive for the Norwayne Bobcats. 6:09 left to play in the 4th quarter. Keystone leads Norwayne 30-21. We're back after these messages.
Looking to buy, sell, or refinance? Make sure your investment is protected with Network Land Title Agency. As a locally owned title and escrow company, Network Land Title helps safeguard you from financial loss caused by defects in a property title, giving you peace of mind every step of the way. With services available across all 88 counties in Ohio, their experienced team is ready to help wherever you are. Visit networklandtitle.com today. Network Land Title Agency, safeguarding your investment, ensuring peace of mind.
6:09 left to play in this 4th quarter. Rocco Nucci and Rob Polinsky with you guys here in LaGrange. Been treated to a good one here tonight. Keystone leading Norwayne 30-21. Dave Rydell and Gary Pelter also on site with us here. As that was a huge catch and run there on 4th down by Cade Leach to keep this possession alive for Norwayne. Bobcats offense back to work now in Keystone territory. Lands under heavy pressure, and down he goes in the backfield. The blitz worked to perfection there. John Falte, what do you say, sir, on that big sack? Dropping Lands deep in the backfield.
Big play there for Falte and the defense. I think that's Keystone's first sack tonight.
And they've certainly had a lot of pressures. I know you pointed that out earlier. I know we don't necessarily keep track of the pressures and the hurries and all that stuff that they do at the higher levels, but Keystone has been in his face a lot tonight, he being Bradley Lands, and down he went there. Loss of 8. 2nd and 18 now for Norwayne at the Keystone 40. Lands dropping back in the shotgun. Cleaner pocket now. Fires. Complete over the middle. It's Carter Miller. And Miller bringing some defenders along for the ride. He's got the first down and more. A pickup of 20 or more there for Carter Miller. Really nice catch there. And a couple of yak right after there. So
I mean, his 3 touchdown catches have combined for 64 yards. Oh, there's a penalty.
Flag.
It's coming back.
I missed that. That's coming back. It's going to be a hold. Wow.
I was going to say, I bet you Miller has around 150 yards in receptions, but that big one's coming back.
Boy, so that one, a real backbreaker now for Norwayne. Yeah. They marched this one, Rob, all the way back to midfield is where that official is standing. And that first down marker is between the 25 and the 20. Let's maybe call it the 23.
Yeah.
So, wow. I mean,
it's 2nd down, and they got to get to Penfield for a first down. I mean, it's a long way away.
Oh, I missed the geographical references from you, my friend. 2nd and 28 for Norwayne. Firing his Lands. It's tipped in. Intercepted! Intercepted by Keystone, and the Wildcats take it away. It's Dimitri Ruby with the turnover for Keystone, and could that be enough to put this one away? The Wildcats get a much-needed turnover.
And Ruby's got to feel really good about that because he fell down earlier on a play. That enabled Miller to make a first down catch. But right there, Ruby with the interception. And that one, as you just mentioned, might put this away with just 5:04 to go. And the Bobcats do have all 3 timeouts remaining.
So they'll need a stop, and they'll need it in a hurry. And if you're Keystone, boy, just a couple of first downs will be enough to put this one on ice. And let's see how they approach this offensive possession. Colton Cowling out there at quarterback. McKee will join him in the backfield, 2 receivers to either side. Norwayne will put 7 in the box. Cowling's going to throw, and it's complete far side, and being wrestled down out of bounds. It'll stop the clock. I don't know if that's what Coach Brian Fox wanted. And now we got a down Wildcat. As I lost who that was amongst the traffic there. It's opposite side of the field from where Rob and I sit. Bobby Gurich is over there. He's standing. That's not the down cat. And let's see, maybe some cramping. I can't tell who. It's not Zach Taylor. So they'll attend to the cramping Wildcat on that far sideline. These have been quicker than they have long, so we can keep it right here with 4:57 left to play. He gained 2.
The trainers have all gotten their 10,000 steps in today.
Boy,
I
no
can
kidding.
tell you that.
No kidding. And we know how this goes in August, so
yeah.
no surprise. And it's Hagerman. It's Brendan Hagerman, number 9, the senior, who went down with the cramping. And he's up, able to walk back toward his home sideline under his own power. Always good. It's interesting, Rob, because you're right. Like some of the reactions sometimes when you cramp, they're holding their legs, they're smacking the grass, and we know what that can mean sometimes with how many, not even just football, with so many sports. We know what that means. You're holding the lower body, you're smacking the ground. It's usually kind of a nightmare scenario, but with the cramping, it's just like, hey, this is an annoying 30 seconds until I can work this out and get hydrated, and then you're pretty much good to go again. So Hagerman will jog off, get some water, and be good to go. It was a pickup of 2. As Cowling takes the shotgun snap, he'll flip it out to McKee, and it's in and out of the hands and back in, and now McKee's got room to run up the near sideline. McKee, there he goes! Wyatt McKee, no one will catch him. 10-5, touchdown, Keystone! No flags on the play, and Wyatt McKee may have just put this one to bed, my friends. A 66-yard touchdown catch and run. Colton Cowling to Wyatt McKee. And Keystone now leads Norwayne 36-21, the 3rd touchdown tonight for Wyatt McKee.
Get the ball in his hands, good things are going to happen. And that one, it looked like he might even not come up with the catch. He was fumbling, stumbling with it. He did finally haul it in, and when he did, he ran by the defense. He took a bad angle on him, and when McKee went down the sidelines, nobody was gonna stop him.
And we mentioned it earlier, Rob, those arm tackles where guys are just trying to, do enough to slow him down. It's not going to slow him down. He's just too big. He's too strong. And, of course, the speed speaks for itself. What a weapon Wyatt McKee is for this Keystone offense. And he'll take the direct snap himself, and he's going to run backwards to escape traffic. And, oh, boy, can he get all the way around the other end for the 2-point conversion? He's looking for it. He gets toppled and
Just short.
Wyatt McKee unable to get in on the 2-point conversion. But the 66-yard touchdown pass from Colt Cowling to Wyatt McKee, brought to you by our friends at Mike Bass Ford, gives Keystone a 36-21 lead. 4:44 left to play in the ballgame. We're right back after this timeout.
Hi, Tim Elkhorn, radio voice of the Cavs. For several years, you've heard me talk about EcoTree services. Recently, I needed trees removed, so of course, I contacted EcoTree. They did an incredible job. The folks at EcoTree were timely, efficient, and the work was flawless. Take it from me. When your trees need attention or even require removal, contact EcoTree Services. Like me, you'll love their work. Find EcoTree Services online at ecotreeservices.com.
(36-21) our score here in LaGrange. Keystone leads Norwayne after that 66-yard touchdown catch and run for Wyatt McKee. His 3rd touchdown of the night. All of those brought to you by our friends at Mike Bass Ford. You get a great deal and a great deal more. Mike Bass Ford I-90 at Detroit exit 148. And this kickoff will be brought to you by Eco Tree Services, your complete tree care company. As Keystone trying to put this one away, get win number 1 under the tutelage of first-year head coach Brian Fox. So great to have him back in Lorain County. Really enjoyed our conversations with him when he was at EC. We know the struggles he had at Elyria. Still love talking with him while he was there.
Yep.
As this kick will go out of bounds.
And, you know, this is first game, year 1, game 1. What happens and how long he's there remains to be seen, but I think this could be a real good fit for both Brian Fox and for Keystone. I think he could be the right guy at the right time at the right school. And I think taking a couple years off, as you mentioned, learning from the head coach at North Royalton, maybe getting a different perspective, maybe, you know, kind of getting that Elyria year in the past and go back to the success he had at EC. And he's a little bit older now, a little more mature.
Yep.
And probably has learned some things. It'll be real interesting to see how he does. And we've got the Mallard Creek post-game show coming up as well if this one ever ends.
Yeah, we're creeping up on 10 o'clock. It's 9:45 now. Our other games are, I don't know what the Avon Lake situation is actually, as Bradley Lands will throw, and this one is complete. Far sideline as that receiver trying to evade a couple of more tackles. It's Carter Miller again, and he's got a decent gain of about 5 or 6 yards, maybe more, as he's out past the 45 near that 47-yard line. So they'll give him 7 on the catch and run there. Sets up 2nd and 3 now with 4:15 and counting. 4 receivers for Bradley Lands, 3 to his right, 1 to his left as he sits in the pistol. He'll drop back, surveying, firing across the middle, complete to Cade Leach at midfield. He's got room to rumble inside Wildcat territory, sliding down near the 40. They'll give him the 41, so a fresh set of downs here for the Norwayne Bobcats. And I'll tell you, Rob, them stymieing Wyatt McKee on that 2-point conversion, it does keep a faint hope alive. It is still a 2-possession game. That would have made it a 3-possession game, but as it stands with a 15-point deficit, not totally out of it. Lands under pressure. They got him wrapped up, and down he goes. It's John Falte doing things again his way. His 2nd sack of the 4th quarter.
Landry Adkins was back there helping as well, but like you mentioned, Falte was there all the way. And it's 2nd and long for Norwayne.
Don't try to one-up me over here with that. I caught it the last time, too. That's what 4 we've got now for him. How can he not have fun with that last name?
Right.
I blame Jeff beforehand, the way he gave it to us. 2nd and 16 now. Lands under pressure, and he's going to go down again. 2 sacks in a row for the Wildcats as that offensive line for Norwayne falling apart a bit here on these last couple of plays. Lands under pressure.
It's really hard when the defense knows you have to throw.
It is.
Mean, it's.
And Norwayne will call time.
Bobby Gurich was in on that one as well.
3:01 left to play. We'll keep it here, Dave Rydell. 36-21 our score. Shout out to Dave Rydell, by the way. His first assignment here for the high school football 2026 season, doing a fine job on the laptop behind us. And Gary Pelter atop the roof. We have no visuals with Pelt. I'm sure he's smiling ear to ear up there as we give him his flowers.
I knew I was in good hands when I got here around 5:15, and I parked, and I saw Mr. Rydell's car was already here. So I'm like, we're in good hands. I know he's here, and I got here. You guys were already here, and this is a fun lid lifter here for these 2 teams.
Score update from Columbia Station, a final. Wow, the Raiders pummeled Independence 56-7 was the final there. Mayfield all over Elyria, 55-10 was the final there. How about Amherst? Big separation from Sandusky in the second half, 42-16 the final there. Last scoring update from Avon Lake was that 3rd quarter score, 24-22, if I could get that out. Strongsville in front by a deuce. Shaw leading Clearview late in the 3rd quarter, 28-22 the score there. And Western Reserve pulling away from Wellington in the 3rd. Last scoring update, 32-7. Thank you, Dave Rydell. Appreciate that. We'll finish that scoring recap from around the area in our Mallard Creek postgame show coming up shortly. Well, hopefully shortly for Mr. Polinsky next to me and myself. I know.
Been a long day.
3rd and 18 for Norwayne at the 49. Lands back to pass under pressure, and somehow he got out of it. He's going to fire, and it's complete. nearing the first down, but a couple of yards shy is the receiver.
John Falte sitting back there going, how in the world did he get away from me?
There's like 3 Wildcats, I think, that are thinking that. There was a bunch of black jerseys in on there, and somehow, some way, the sophomore Bradley Land's able to sneak out of there. He stands 6'1", $185, so he's not small by any stretch of the imagination, but some of those Keystone boys are big, and so that was impressive.
Under 3 minutes to go, down 15 points. If Norwayne has any chance for a miracle comeback, they have to convert on this 4th down.
4th and 4 for Norwayne. I'm with you, Rob. It's your ball game right here if you're Norwayne. Down 15, under 3 to play. Lance takes the snap. Looking under some pressure. It's tipped at the line of scrimmage, and it falls incomplete. And Keystone can start to sense it now. Defensive coordinator Don Griswold, he's going to celebrate that one with his guys, and for good reason. They have come up with enough plays tonight to bring this one home for Keystone, as it looks anyway. 2:47 left to play. Keystone's going to get the ball back, and they lead Norwayne 36-21. I'll tell you what, Rob, Norwayne, they've had their moments offensively. They've certainly broken through a couple of times. 21's, a respectable number. But when they've had to have it, this Keystone defense has stood tall, and they've stood strong.
They have, and, again, I think when you look back and think about this one, assuming that it ends where we're at now, those first 2 scores on the first 2 drives just made it so tough for Norwayne to try to come back. When it was 16-0 like that for Keystone, it just made it so it just takes so much pressure off the home team. Since then, Norwayne's outscored them 21-20. They basically played toe-to-toe,
an even game, yeah.
On paper, but those first 2 scores on the first 2 drives really gave them the separation they needed.
Caden Cologne takes the direct snap, running it right side. Cologne room to run up the far sideline now, and he gets escorted toward that sideline into Bobcat territory near that 45-yard line. Plenty for a Keystone first down. Well, Rob, to your point, that's why that coaching cliche of, we need to play a full 48 or 60 minutes or whatever sport, whatever the length of the game is. Again, cliche, but it's so true. Because we know football doesn't work like that, where we can say, if you take away those 16 from Keystone, it's a different game. Well, you can't take it away because that happened.
Right.
And so I think that's something that head coach Adam Indorf is going to tell some of the youngsters on this team. There's some seniors on there as well. I mean, Maxwell and Leach, Miller, Arnold, some of those skill positions. A lot of seniors, a lot of experience, a lot of pride in this Norwayne program, and a lot of season ahead. A lot of goals and expectations still ahead. But
Norwayne takes their first time out. They have 2 remaining with 2:35 to go. But for Brian Fox, a lot of success here in opening night. I mean, I know he's going to look back and go, okay, interceptions, penalties, all those issues that they had. But, at the end of the day, getting a big win over a real quality opponent. Let's not forget that. Norwayne is really, really a good football team. For them to get the win here against this is going to give Keystone a lot of confidence heading into the rest of their preseason, because their preseason, their non-conference, is really difficult. They've got Cloverleaf, they've got Buckeye. They may or may not have a game in week 4. We'll see. But they've got some real quality opponents coming up the next couple of weeks. Same thing for Norwayne, with having to go to play Triway and Garraway before they enter their league play.
John Falte was actually the down Wildcat there. I think just maybe some cramping for him as he was able to walk off just fine. Cologne takes that direct snap again, looking right side. Flag comes flying in from the back judge there.
I think if I do another Keystone game and you have me do the Network Land Title Agency's keys to the game, I'm just going to say get the ball to Wyatt McKee. Find a way to get him the ball, right? I mean, that's been a big difference too tonight. When in doubt, get the thing to McKee.
Right.
Whether it's a swing pass, a Wildcat formation, 2-point play. When you need it, get the ball to number 1. Good things are going to happen.
Well, that 66-yard touchdown catch and run, I mean, that was a 2nd or 3rd and long situation. I mean, I didn't really think they were going for the big play there. And McKee almost dropped that football. So he turns kind of like, we're accepting we're going to turn this or punt this one away, and we're just trying to get some yards, and, it's almost incomplete. He turns all that into 6 points for this Keystone offense. Boy, what a weapon for Brian Fox. And we know the weapons he had at EC, so.
Right, 59-yard run and almost 70-yard pass play. And then he had a 70-yard pass play get called back for the holding.
Right. Cologne on the direct snap again, and he gets wrestled down by a couple of guys in white.
If I'm a Keystone coach, too, I tell my linemen or receivers, anybody, guys, when we get the ball to number 1, nobody can be called for holding. He doesn't need you to do that.
Right.
Just get out of the way. If you
point.
get called
It's a
for
great
holding
point.
when McKee has the ball, you're doing extra hit-ems.
Right. Braylon Cunningham on that tackle for Norwayne. We'll show him some love. Haven't called his name on the broadcast just yet. And I think we may have a couple of new faces out there for that Norwayne defense.
You know, and I don't think in all my years we've had Norwayne on WEOL or WEOL.com.
In football or any sport? You
Well, I mean football.
Okay.
We've seen him a couple times in basketball over
we
the
just
years.
saw him in the.
but in football, I can't remember seeing this Norwayne team.
The give is to Zach Taylor, the up man, and Zach Taylor had a crease that disappeared quickly as he gets tripped up across midfield. Well, Rob, you look at that schedule. How many of those Wayne County Athletic League teams have our teams run into in the postseason? You think of some of the battles between Columbia and Dalton when they get to the postseason. How many of our teams have seen, Smithville eventually, Chippewa? I know Keystone knocked them off in basketball when they went to the state Final Four. I mean, there's been a lot of Lorain County League and Wayne County Athletic League clashes over the years, and a lot of them have been really, really good. So I'd like to see some more of this on WEOL.
And normally, when it happens, especially in basketball, advantage Wayne County.
Yeah.
Right? It just seems to be. So this is a big win for Keystone, and I'm real interested to see what Norwayne does after today. I think moving forward, I'm sure if they don't win the WCAL, they'll at least be in the conversation. They'll be right there, have a lot to do with who does. But Coach Indorf, real nice to meet him. Class guy, great program. And interested to see where he goes going forward. And I'm just glad for him as a coach and a father that his senior son is back. After a knee injury that knocked him out a year ago, you're a coach, you still got to coach. But when you're missing your son, Caden Indorf, who was hurt last year with a knee injury, to have him back, that's got to be a thrill.
Cowling, quick throw out to the receiver, and it's in and out of the hands, incomplete, as I think that was Stanley who he was looking for. Now check that. Mason Grams, he was going for on that far sideline, falls incomplete. Well, and I'll tell you what, he had some great news for us on Bryson Indorf. Some bad news initially, telling us he had a knee injury and he was going to be missing some time, but good news in the sense that it wasn't the same kind of injury that his older brother Caden had that caused him to miss a whole season. He said Bryson should be back in a couple of weeks, just some sprainage going on in there, so hopefully he's able to play this season A-okay, and that was the biggest thing Adam Indorf, the head coach, told us. He's like, I want my boys to play together, especially in the one senior year. I want to coach them and for them to be able to play together. And so eventually this year that will come to fruition for Norwayne. Kyle Hurley set to punt this one away, and he does so with that left foot, end over end, bouncing into Wildcat territory. Carson Mills on the return here for Norwayne, and he's trying to ditch some tacklers, and a helmet flies off in there. And everybody seems to be A-okay. Always dangerous when that happens. That was number 24, Mehmet Alupinar, who had his helmet spilled down to the grass. And with 37 seconds left, Rob, if you're Norwayne, you almost just consider just kind of running this out and getting to the finish line. No reason to risk any more injuries or cramping or anything like that here in week 1.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they just hand the ball off once or twice and regroup and get ready for next Friday night.
How about this? Text from Rocky Houston texting in saying, thanks for the shout out. # Lady Wildcats basketball. That's what I like to see, man. I love Coach Rock. Always love his Lady Wildcat program. Boy, has he found some success with them over the years. What a fun year that was, going all the way down to the University of Dayton with him and those girls, as the handoff here to the tailback Maxwell, I believe.
It was.
Falling forward for a couple of yards. Once you know, we're just starting. It's week 1 for football season, so don't strangle me for this. But as we know, basketball season will be here before we know it. They all start to run together pretty quick. So
I'll be happier than you, happier than anybody when it's basketball season. I love it.
There you go.
I got no problem with that.
I love me some hoops. You know how that goes. And I think that's going to be it. Play clock is off. Final 5 seconds will tick away, and that's it. Year 1 of the Brian Fox era here at Keystone starts with a big W here in LaGrange. Keystone knocks off Norwayne 36-21 in the opener. As they move to 1-0, Norwayne, they'll drop to 0-1. And what a performance for Keystone here tonight at home in front of the LaGrange faithful. That'll take us to our post-game show, brought to you by Mallard Creek Golf Club. Book your tee time today at the Duck. Again, we're back here with the post-game show. Your final, Keystone 36, Norwayne 21. Again, we're back with the post-game show right after this.
Now's the time to start planning your 2027 golf outing at Mallard Creek Golf Club. With 36 beautifully maintained holes, 4 pavilions, stock pro shop, and an expansive driving range, Mallard Creek is the perfect venue for groups of any size. From start to finish, their friendly staff will walk you through every step, and they're a trusted home for charity fundraisers and community events. Dates can book up fast, so call David Venezuela at 440-748-8231 or visit themallardcreek.com to reserve your 2027 outing today.
At Nick Abraham Elyria Ford, we offer great service and a great selection of vehicles. And right now, get 0% financing for 36 months on all new Ford vehicles in stock. At Nick Abraham Elyria Ford, we make it that easy. Stop in or shop us at buyabraham.com.
Looking to buy, sell, or refinance? Make sure your investment is protected with Network Land Title Agency. As a locally owned title and escrow company, Network Land Title helps safeguard you from financial loss caused by defects in a property title, giving you peace of mind every step of the way. With services available across all 88 counties in Ohio, their experienced team is ready to help wherever you are. Visit networklandtitle.com today. Network Land Title Agency, safeguarding your investment, ensuring peace of mind.
Enjoy bigger buys and bigger discounts during the Labor Day sale at Stewart's TV and Appliance. Save thousands when you bundle eligible name brand appliances. Or get loads of savings on GE Profile washers and dryers while supplies last. Plus, we offer 0% financing and free local delivery. We're rewarding you for all your hard work with great deals during the Labor Day sale at Stewart's TV and Appliance. When you shop Stewart's, it's all about you.
Back here in LaGrange, it's a final. Keystone knocks off Norwayne in Game 1 of the Brian Fox era, 36-21, your final score. Some of those lovely
I'm telling
tunes
you,
from Dave Rydell.
Nobody does the tunes like Rydell.
How about that?
He mixes in his jazz and his funky funk and
DJ Dave
else.
back
DJ
here.
Dave.
Getting the dials going. Well, shout out to Dave Rydell. First game back on the high school football scene here in 2026. Always love showing some love to the production team at WEOL. You know, Rob, you and I can flap our gums till tomorrow. None of it happens, though, without the likes of Dave Rydell and, of course, Gary Pelter atop the press box here running the camera for us tonight tremendously, as he always does. So a big shout-out to those two gentlemen. Again, a final here tonight, 36-21. Brian Fox gets a win in his first game as head coach of the Keystone Wildcats. And Rob, I know we kind of talked about it during the break. We don't want to spend forever here in this press box. Jeff Holzhauer doesn't want us forever here in this press box, I think, most importantly. But just kind of before we go into the scoring recap, some thoughts from you on this one and what was a pretty good ball game, and I think a little more high scoring than maybe we initially thought.
Yeah, I think so. Let's face it, Keystone beat a good team here, and Chronicle, Telegram, Pickett. I know they had Norwayne winning that. I know you picked Keystone, but there were more writers that picked Norwayne than not. But again, I just think when they had those first two drives, the opening drive, when you have an opening onside kick, Brian Fox set the tone for what he wants Keystone football to be, right? And I think that set the tone, and then it wasn't a coincidence that they went down and scored the first two times they had the ball. And they never trailed. And that just took a lot of pressure off this team, and then they could play. Was it perfect? Far from it. You had all kinds of penalties. You had 2 interceptions. You had some trouble with your pass defense. There's an awful lot to clean up. It's a lot more fun to clean something up and work on it after a W than after an L. So first and foremost, big win over a quality opponent for Keystone. And I think they probably, the expectations I think were high going into this year. They're not going to get lower after tonight. And, I just think all in all it was a good performance. And sure, they're going to, the interceptions are going to drive Brian crazy. The penalties, especially the pre-snap ones, drives him crazy. But an awful lot of good things happened down here for Keystone.
Yeah, very impressive performance from Keystone. And they had an answer, Rob. I mean, every time you thought Norwayne was creeping back into it and was maybe going to come all the way back and flirting with tying the ball game, Keystone had an answer every time. And so big credit to them on that front. Scoring recap, we'll go through it. Well, again, we'll start with that onside kick at the start of the ball game. What a decision from Brian Fox and crew. Wyatt McKee ends up punching that one in afterwards on the ensuing drive. A 2-yard plunge to pay dirt. The 2-point conversion was good as well. Made it 8-0. Colt Cowling later in that first quarter finding Braden Stanley from 7 yards out. Another 2-point conversion from McKee made it 16-0. Cowling did have one of those 2 interceptions in that second quarter. Helped set up a Norwayne 21-yard touchdown pass from Lands to Carter Miller. Extra point was good. Made it 16-7. That's where we stood at the half. Start of the third quarter. Colt Cowling finding Zach Taylor from 33 yards out. Another 2-point conversion from Wyatt McKee made it 24-7. Norwayne came right back, though. Lands finding Carter Miller again for the second time for a 15-yard touchdown strike. Made it 24-14, but again, Wyatt McKee having the answer from 59 yards. He ran it all the way in. Got stuffed on the 2-point conversion. I think that was Cologne, actually, but nonetheless made it 30-14. Norwayne coming right back, though, to start that fourth quarter. Lands with Carter Miller for the third time tonight. Extra point was good. Made it 30-21. But a Dimitri Ruby interception helped setting up a 66-yard touchdown pass from Colt Cowling to Wyatt McKee, as that young man had it going everywhere here tonight. 2-point conversion was no good, but that made it 36-21, and that was your final here tonight. Quickly, I'll go through some scores courtesy of Dave Rydell. Well, again, Walsh Jesuit skunking Highland 34-0, the final there. Berea Mid-Park on top of Brunswick in the fourth quarter, 42-33. Slipping away from Clearview in Lorraine. They trail Shaw 40-22. Western Reserve beating up on Wellington 32-7. The last score we saw there. No update from Medina as Buckeye and Cloverleaf. It was 10-6 Cloverleaf at the half. That's the last score update we have there. Holy name. Wow, they had some fun at the expense of Normandy, much to the pleasure of Dave Rydell. 45-6 the final score there. Columbia all over Independence 56-7. Mayfield beating up on Elyria tonight 55-10 the final there. Wadsworth a big road win 28-6 over Cleveland Heights. Tom Thome and the Amherst Comets go to Sandusky and get a 42-16 win over the Blue Streaks. Menor upending Olmsted Falls. They pull away from that one 38-17 the final score there. Same for Midview. The Westlake Demons falling to the Middies 34-14 there. Good win for Jack Armstrong and crew. Wow, how about this? Brian Morgan and crew. Heck of a fight down in Uniontown, but it is the Lake Blue Streaks winning 21-14 over the North Ridgeville Rangers in their season opener. North Olmsted getting beat up on at home. It's a final, actually. East Lake North 51-17 over them. We saw the 64-42 shootout down in Hunting Valley that saw University over Brookside. Findlay runs away from Medina 27-7 the final there. EC having all the fun tonight over Lutheran West 47-13. And boy, what happened in the second half here, I wonder, down in Johnstown. The Johnnies, a 20-point win over Vermilion. 34-14 was the final score there. Hillsdale 34-7 over Black River in the third was the last update I had. And St. Ed's with a win over the Liberty Patriots. 15-12 was the final score there. And again, Avon on Thursday night, a 22-21 win over St. Ignatius. Rob, any final thoughts before we say?
Or, sorry, go ahead. Our Stream 2 game.
Oh, my goodness.
Strongsville defeated Avon Lake 24-22.
Thank you.
So for the second straight year, Avon Lake loses a heartbreaker.
Boy.
So Strongsville last year, 42-41. Tonight, they were down 24-0. They come all the way back to lose by 2, but tough loss for Avon Lake to start the season, especially when you think of the schedule that they've got coming up.
No kidding. Yeah, they're non-conference. I mean, they don't take any breaks in that non-conference, no question. It's Highland and then Lake Catholic, I believe, the two to follow, or maybe I got the order reversed on that. Nonetheless, concluding our Mallard Creek Golf Club post-game show. Book your tee time today at the Duck. Rob, any final thoughts from you before we say our thank yous and goodbyes?
No, just thanks to everybody here. Great to have Brian Fox back in Lorain County as a head coach at Keystone. I think that's a big storyline for tonight. Just so cool to see him here. And to have Grizz be the defensive coordinator. Big things are going to happen in LaGrange sooner than later.
I am in full agreement with you on that one, my friend. As tonight's game between Keystone and Norwayne was brought to you by Network Land Title Agency, providing real estate title insurance and escrow services across Ohio. The Nick Abraham Auto Mall, that's Buick GMC and Elyria Ford, Route 57 and East Broad Street in Elyria. Lorain County Community College, real education for good jobs. Stewart's TV and Appliance, 468 Cleveland Street in Elyria. Mallard Creek Golf Club on Route 82 in Columbia Station. Mike Bass Ford, I-90 at Detroit exit 148, a great deal and a great deal more. And Eco Tree Services, they are your complete tree care company. Again, this was the post-game show brought to you by Mallard Creek Golf Club. Book your tee time today at the Duck. So big thank you to everybody here tonight. Both head coaches, Brian Fox from Keystone, Adam Indorf for Norwayne, as Keystone moves to 1-0, Norwayne to 0-1. For Gary Pelter on the roof, running the camera here tonight for Dave Rydell, DJ Dave as he's known behind me. For Rob Polinsky, I am Rocco Nucci saying one more time your final score on tonight's Gridiron Clash. It's Keystone, a winner over Norwayne, 36-21. Join us tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock for the Nick Abraham Saturday Sports Wrap-Up Show, where I'll be joined by Jared Kozar, along with the winning coaches from Lorain County from tonight. But until then, have a great night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow morning.